but
it's never the people that are gonna have to lane against each other that go handshake. Because that's what I want to see, you know? I want to see mid laners shaking hands before they actually try to outplay each other's, or like an off laner with a safe laner, because there's going to be a lot of beef. Like, it gets really heated in the laning phase. It's all about, kind of last hit denying, high-fiving each other, spraying on the ground. I want to see more of that, It's like kind of bring the heat before the game even starts.
How about we ask all lanes
to handshake each other before
5v5 handshake.
I mean, that's spicy. I would love to see it. But no, what I'm going to be looking at is, I mean, obviously Falcons, they come in as favorites. I think that's like not a surprise to anyone, and they probably expect to, come out on top of the series. But again, Extreme, like, Vici Gaming, like some of them were on Extreme last TI. They had an incredible season. Sure, the season was a little bit rocky this time around, but it really doesn't mean anything. Like, there's been many iterations of like teams or rosters that had, not the best season, an average season, and they peak at the right time and then just take it all when it comes to, EWC and TI time. So at this point, you have to take them very seriously. Like, they're showing up this tournament, they're showing that they can take down some of the best teams in the world. They took down 1W. And these players are no stranger to the biggest events and performing them, so
yeah, and it seems like they also managed to find some good plays for themselves in this current meta, like playing this carry Lina. We've seen Lina from the mid lane, but we're also seeing it from the safe lane as well. Shiro did have amazing performance yesterday on that Lina, like 20+ kills, won that only kind of single-handedly. Yeah, there it is, for a good reason, because I feel like I started to be a big believer in this hero.
Lina
is like the flexibility between position 1 and position 2, plus also the Aghanim Scepter build even from the carry role, because you go for the Maelstrom, you pick up Boots of Travel, you go back to Aghanim Scepter, which is like this item has pretty insane numbers when you think about it. It's 35% magic resistance, it's 35% spell amp, unobstructed vision for 7 seconds on 25-second cooldown, so lets you position really well in team fights, plus also gives you ability to be super tanky, one of the reasons, plus the level 15 talent as well.
And I was looking at also the coach names, and it really brings me back, because like Yao was
Easy game, yeah,ပွဲချောင်းလေးတက်သွားတယ်ဟုတ်ပါပွဲချောင်းပြီးတော့မဟုတ်ဘူးone win
the equivalent of Zhao.
Like,
he did as much for like the Dota scene and the Chinese Dota scene in particular, and you have AUI on one side, people
BGS ဆောက်ပေါ်လေအဲ့ဒါကိုone winလောက်ပဲလောက်ပြီးရှုံးသွားလားမသိ
highlighted a lot.
draft တွေသွားကြည့်တော့ draft တွေကရှုံးနိုင်တယ်
on the other side, and
ဒီကောင်ကြီးနောက်ဆုံးပွဲကို Zeus နဲ့ဆော်သွား Zeus က Doinja တို့ X တို့နိုင်တယ် counter ထောက်တယ်လို့ပြောလို့ရ
in a sense, battling it out. You love to see
အဲ့ဒါကြောင့်
Yeah, I feel like sometimes we don't mention some of the coaches because players outshine them. Like people talked about, Yandex, their coach as well, putting in quite a lot of work considering the results that they've been having. Clockwork on the other side. This
has
been good maybe not so much nowadays with that Aghanim Scepter as well, with the unobstructed movement that you don't care too much about the Clockwork, but Clockwork has looked very stable in every single game. Very annoying hero that can block off certain areas. Very annoying to lane against. We were trying to get mana burn as a concept. Some of the spells like mana, like a snake from Medusa, for example.
Maybe
initially on an Nyx assassin, but having Clockwork like burning your mana, especially some of these agents, can be very devastating. And I'm a big fan of this combo. The Snapfire plus Clockwork. You have kill throughout the whole game. Like with these two hero pairings, like you can make 2 moves on the map pretty much, because these 2 heroes are gonna kill any hero.
Yeah, it's a great combo. They've run it a lot. Like, a few things to say that I think are worth noting is first of all is one of the played, but Mandarin is a level 30 Lina player, like one of his best heroes actually, so he would know what he wants against it. So I'm sure that they talked about this Lina, they saw it coming, and they're gonna propose something against it. You mentioned the Clockwork. I think true that the cog interaction is not as good, but at least he has the jetpack, which is like it can be very useful against Lina, especially if they build Aghanims. It becomes really hard to catch. They're flying over trees. You lose.
Mars arena တွေကထွက်လို့ရ
Clock's gonna have vision of Lina.
Yes.
They're gonna play their own game, but at least he's gonna be able to track her down. So that's like a good tool to have. I want to mention the Undying ban also. I think it seems to be one of the top you know, +5 and +3 actually heroes of the tournament. We've seen Yandex
Marana
yesterday, and snaking is
Dina,
maybe the second player to be using it as much. You know, like Falcons, they've played a lot of Undying, and it's their go-to. So pretty good of Vici to not let them get their hands on it.
Yeah, Undying, like we've seen some good performances yesterday. Malady as well. He kind of Yatro gave him credit saying that he's going to be for pretty much scaling cores in that game, and he did with the heart, with the blade. So many different ways to build that hero. And on the other side, Mirana plus Tusk, so having an extra bit of a save. Mirana, like we've seen the hero do really well. In some position 4 performances.
Sure, this is considered a 4 though with Zinq Mirana.
I mean, it could be. I think it, like, technically it's still open. If the Lina goes safe lane, most likely the Tusk is going to lane with her, which would send the Mirana position 4. But if they decide to send the Lina mid, then you could have both options open. I just wonder, I mean, I want to say that Lina is very fine laning against Snap. So they should be happy with Lina mid. But again, it's going to come down to, you know, Argentina of Lina mid and Lina +1 might be fine. That's also the strength of the Lina picks. Like, you pick it that early. This is not a hero that can really get countered in lane. It's so strong on the lane that you can just pick it and...
Yeah, she does well. Like, doesn't matter whether she goes to safe lane, whether she goes to mid lane. The hero is going to do fine. And I also think the value that they're going to be getting from Cookie in this game is going to be insane. Like LSA, jumping over the shards, whoever gets initiated on, the snowball, and also Winter
Now, ADF
we are not seeing too much of a team fight so far on side of PC Gaming. I would love to see some kind of a team fight.
ဒီပွဲကဝါချီဦးထဲမှာရှိနေတာကိုမယူတော့စောင်းရမ်းထူးဆန်းတယ်ဝါချီကပုံမှန်ဆိုရင်အဲ့လို first pick face တွေထဲမှာပြကြမဟုတ်ရင်လည်းဘန်းကြဝါချီဦးထဲမှာရှိနေတာကြီးက
They also have mostly physical damage. Of course there's Lina, but you know, one game
အခုချိန် VG ကဝါချီပစ်လို့ကောင်းသွားပြီ
all of a sudden
ဝင်းရညာကယ်ရီ
heroes can't even fix what a position.
ဝင်းညာကယ်ရီကဝါချီထွက်သွားအကောင်းဆုံးပဲလား
I really like the synergy between Wyvern
ဗီဒီယိုကောင်တွေကငါပုတ်တွေပါဘယ်လိုပဲပစ်ကောင်းကောင်း
Cookie, so is Clockwork of course, but
ပေးတယ်အကောင်
there's just a lot of team fight synergy with the Falcon heroes. They have very
စပိန်နဲ့အာဂျင်မဲကြံတယ်ပါကြိုက်လေ
laners. So their draft is just very well rounded.
Argentina.
Like, they have team fight, you know, they have very strong lanes, they have save, which
Argent
is
so
particularly efficient
strong
versus the Vici Gaming hero. So I think a lot of weight on
ဒါလေးတူးစီကအော်သိမ့်မရဘူးအဲ့မောအော်တော့သိမ့်မရဘူးအော်လိုချင်တဲ့ဟာဘတ်ချင်တော့
it's they're in a very tricky situation right now.
Yeah, I would love to see some kind of a team fight. Doom is also a good pick. It's very good against Wind Ranger, good against
the Wyvern. လုံးဝတောက်ချောက်အော့တွေကတက်တယ် over အော့တွေဆောင်းတက်လာအခုဆိုရင်55ကောင်56ကောင်တွေတက်လာ
In this game, the interaction
ဒီစေပဲအန်ဒါကောက်စားရုံပဲ
Wind Ranger.
ကောင်းပြော
A lot of times it's not
ရောင်နေအရန်ချမှာမဟုတ်
because he's way too tanky.
What about
ဗီဒီယိုကောင်တွေကတော့ feed တော့ feed နိုင်တယ်။အိုးစပတ်တားတယ်ဘာကြီးတော့ရောင်ကောင်တွေဘာလုပ်လိုက်တာလီနာကိုမစ်သွားလိုက်တာ
honestly like regardless of the game I think the heroes just in such a
ဘာလုပ်တာအဲ့စပတ်တာနားချင်းနေပြီဒီကောင်တွေ
so
ပန်ကောင်မခန့်တာတွေသွားလုံနေတယ်
Skirmishy played a map approach which
အဲ့ဆိုရင်တော့နေအောင်ကဒါဟီးရိုးကီးတဲ့ကောင်ဖြစ်နေတယ်
I think I quite like it because you know sometimes in Dota you end up
But that fan ma mo chama.
like
Sky Marana ရဲ့သူက active supporter နှစ်ကောင်ရဲ့
say whoever they jump on and
စပတ်တာတော့နေအောင်ကခန့်တယ်ဒီဘက်ကကေးရန်တာမကောင်းတော့ချတော့လီနာမဟုတ်ဘူးဖြစ်
your heroes
ကိုကလီနာကယ်ရီ
are designed
တွက်လိုက်လို့
in the game which is
အန်ဒါကြိုက်တာအခုက
lanes with Mirana Aghanim,
ပြဿနာနည်းနည်း
Lina,
တက်သွား
killing creep waves from and like split Falcons apart on the map and pick them off with Tusk, Moonlight Shadow, Lina Travel, Spectre, and force them to play your game. And this might
ဝင်း
actually
တိုင်း
make
ပါ
the
နေအောင်
Falcon
ဘာလို့ဟိုဘက်ကောင်တွေက
very
အတင်းဝင်ချဖို့ကြိုးစားနေ
Something that Yatro talked about in his exit interview.
Oh,
That
you
they
go,
like
oh.
split them real well in that game, even though they were the ones holding the
Winter,
Aegis. They just played
you
the
love
map
Gongda Gong
extremely well. And I like the bans coming out, especially the Viper ban. It would be very good potentially with Clockwork, super strong lane break against Spectre would always be good. And again, they have a lot of single target. Viper loves to play against these type of heroes. A lot of magic damage early on, and it would kind of decimate Spectre in the lane because if it's gonna be Spectre plus Mirana, this is not a strong
Falcon
lane by
ကတလောက
any means, so
ပုတ်
I
သွား
feel
ပြီတကယ်ဆိုလို့
like,
ရှိရင်
with whatever they decide to pick on side of
ပေး
Falcons,
ရ
they
ဆိုရင်
are
တော့ပုတ်
gonna
သွား
be
ပြီဒီ
having
ကောင်လွယ်လွယ်ကူကူ
an easy time.
ဖမ်းထားလို့ရမယ်
Spectre's a stronger laner
အ
than
ကောင်
you
တွေ
would
တိတ်မပါ
expect, but
ဘရနာကလည်းခုံမှာ
not
စ
so
ပတ်တာက
much
လည်း
against
ထက်ကာနဲ့
potentially
လီနာက
Clockwork
နောက်ပိုင်းအ
plus,
ပြာကြောင်းသွားမှာ
maybe
ကွာ
some like Timbersaw that could come out for them, like even Dawnbreaker. I feel like they have multiple ways of dealing what's gonna come, and they're gonna see the full
Otherwise,
draft,
they're
so they're
both
gonna decide.
I like the Dawn idea actually you mentioned. I think it could help them fix a little bit of the map because right now this is really what Vici Gaming is looking to abuse. It's like they just force them to split and pick them off because if Falcons is allowed to just group up and go for objectives without really paying the price when it comes to like losing towers perhaps or losing too much resources because Vici is shoving all the waves into them, then the game is pretty straightforward. So they end up
ဟာအဲ့
going
ဒါ
for the
စီ
Darcy.
က
I really
ပစ်တာ
like
တ
the
ကယ်
combo
လုံးတော့
Spectre. I
မှာ
think it's one of the best
စ
in
ပတ်
the
တာ
game.
ဓာတ်စီက
Yeah, you have to think of the team fights. It's like
သေလုံးတော့မှာ
Snapfire, Wyvern, these heroes.
ကေဝါတော့ကောင်းသွားပြီကွာ
Like,
ပြန်ပြီးတော့
they want to understand
သိလား
where the fight is being
ဒီကွက်ကြီးက
fixated.
လိုက်လုံးမဲ့ကွက်
They
ကြီး
want to know, hey, this is where the fight happens. This is where I'm gonna stand. This is how the angle I'm gonna click my spells from. And versus Spectre Darkseer, it's
ဒီဘက်ဓာတ်စီကအတွက်
it's just
display လဲဘာမှမ
everybody's
ပါဘူး
just
ဝင်းရ
getting
ကယ်ရီ
chased by Spectre.
တုတ်ပြတ်
They're
တဲ့
just
နေရာပဲ
vacuumed
ပြစ်က
into the wall and
let's play ပဲကြည့်ရအောင်
it's just
let's
very
play ကလည်း
effective
offlane ထဲ
versus
မှာ
the
ကြာတော့
heroes. Like it's a really good combo. I think
စပတ်တာအောင်နိုင်တဲ့ကောင်လည်းဖြစ်ရမယ်
not investing enough, resources in the laning phase, but hopefully they have a plan.
ဒုံးက
and
ပိတ်
the jungle
ဒုံးကဟိုဟာ
plan,
ဘန်းကန်
especially
က
with Darcy.
အဲ့တော့အရှိ
But besides that, I think it's pretty cool how they were able to turn the draft
ဒီ
around.
မှာဆောကြီးကဘာမှ
The
သိမ
illusion
ထူ
that you
ဘူး
make out of Wind Ranger is not the strongest. This is not TB Shadow Fiend illusion type of heroes that we're talking about, but still you're going to be getting the value out of it. It also gives them a little bit of a team fight that we said that they needed extra bit of a damage, like the Iron Shell Spectre with the Radiance Burn. There's going to be quite a lot of damage over time, especially because Falcons, they also want to be, this is probably the best
မင်းသားအဒီမဲချိန်မှာဂျာမအဒီ3နာချိန်ဆိုပြစ်လာပြောင်းနေလား
Like what's amazing about the Spectre Darkseer
Yeah,
combo
yeah.
is like Spectre excels, like Spectre enjoys auras a lot. First of all, like dispersion, like this hero is really tanky, like hard to take down, and obviously you kind of lose by trying to kill Spectre. So it just amplifies, right? When Spectre with the pipe, with the greaves, and all the Darkseer that items that are bought naturally. You also have the combo with the Surge and the Shard of Darkseer, which is slowing you and makes it impossible to disengage.
Tiny
And
carry
if
ဖြစ်
you
သွားပြီ
run
လား
away
ဟုတ်
from Spectre, you die essentially. And the team fight presence.
ဟုတ်တယ် tiny carry ဖြစ်သွားပြီ ဝင်းရိန်ညာ ADF တဲ့ဘာကြီးလုံးနေတာဒီကောင်လေး
There's
Ranger?
Yes,
Offlane
this
Wind
is
Ranger.
something that we
Wow.
usually
What
don't
the
see.
flash?
It's a hero that doesn't get harassed by Mirana, doesn't get harassed by Spectre.
It's a really good lane for
It's a good like this hero definitely has something to it. Like it has been played from Wind Ranger back in my days as well. Like it definitely has some merit to it. But
I've never seen
ADF ကကင်ဘူးလို့
I
လား
think,
အဲ့ကောင်မကင်ဘူး
they
ထင်နေ
opted to go for Tiny because this is the hero that doesn't care too much about.
အဲ့စားသူပန်ကိုလေးကတော့ရင်တော့ကောင်းနေဘာမှမဟုတ်အဲ့ဝင်းရိန်ညာ carry က
into Silver Edge. He's also kind of like a global hero in a sense once he starts down to
စပတ်တာအောင်မ
Hot
နိုင်
People
လို့
with the
များ
Wind
ပြောင်း
Dagger,
လိုက်တာ
with the Silver Edge, cutting the back line.
ဘာလို့တိုင်
These
နေ
heroes
တော့
don't really have that much.
အဲ့လိုပြောင်းမယ်ဆိုလဲ
HP,
ကောင်း
like
မှု
Lena,
အခြား
she
တစ်
can
ကောင်
be
ကောင်းနဲ့
tanky,
ပြောင်းလေ
but
ဥ
one
မာ
thing that
drawing ကြတော့ဘာလို့
Lena
ရှိသေးတယ်လေ
is
စကီတာ drawing ညာမကိုင်းတယ်ဘူးက
repositioning tools. Like I think one of the best matchups against
Hey, the
Lena
ball.
is Tiny, and it's also going to be Magnus, which we really haven't seen.
Yeah, and
မျက်ခုံးလောက်ရတ
it's
ယ်
one
ဒါ
of the
ဒီ
Tiny
ပွဲ
is one
ကြီး
of
က
the heroes
သူစီး
that
ထည့်
at
ထား
some
တဲ့
point will just stand his ground, right? So you just like he's just there.
ပိုပါ
and
ဝင်
he has,
ဟို
like Silver Edge, whatever Satanic, Daedalus, Tiny 25. He's just standing in the front. And Darkseer, Spectre are gonna click their spells, and Tiny's just not gonna flinch. Like he's just gonna stand there, and he's just too tanky. And I think it gives them also like a scaling angle where I don't think Wind Ranger would have been able to take this game to the late game on the carry position, but with Tiny it's completely different. You kind of have to think, is the synergy going to be good
draft
enough?
ကတော့ချမ်း
It brings me back to Amar playing Ursa in, I think it was in TI finals.
Yes.
Where you're like, oh, and then he just makes it work. So I would just trust them to, at the end of the day, the guy's just Ursa off lane, Doom Radiance, Necro
Slark
Radiance,
off
just
lane,
give him
whatever.
Ranger carry. What's the problem at this point? Just Slark, yes. This is like, I guess, another day in the office for Amar. He's just pretending to be offlane. He's never been an offlane player.
It sounds that Falcons has found themselves a very strong overall last pick. How do we think Vici is going to fare against this? Because do think that the way you guys were leaning was if I were to ask you who won the draft, it would be Falcons. How is Vici going to deal with it?
I mean, honestly, when I saw the first 3 picks, I would have told you that Vici Gaming is getting completely outdrafted, and I was very worried for them. With the last 2, Spectre and Darcy, I'm super hopeful. I think if they play this game well, and let alone get an advantage, they could definitely take it.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like they fixed some of the issues that they did have, but the safe lane is not going to be easy for Spectre.
Well, we're going to find out. Game 1 of this quarterfinals. Falcons, Vici Gaming coming your way with Sunspan and Kezu.
Welcome! Game number 1 of this best of 3 in the playoffs here for
Technical error today.
Vici Gaming. We are indeed paused. We know the reason already. Crit is writing in chat, sound bug. We know that's not true.
We all know it's fake. It's fake news.
That's right. How are you doing?
I'm doing.
You feeling healthy today?
I am feeling healthy. How about yourself? How's your throat? Everything is going well?
Everything's actually okay so far. We'll see how it progresses here.
I'm glad you're doing well 20 seconds into the game.
Yeah, it's a tough job we have here.
That's a good sign, but I'm loving these 2 drafts that we're seeing. You can, it's when you have these type of teams go up against each other, especially in an elimination series and in the playoffs. There's a lot of things like going back and forth. You show this in your draft and you have to answer the other way because I'm a huge fan of
stress me. So stress me out.
Have on their side. I do feel that they found a nice way to corner Falcons, like drafting wise towards the end. We heard them talk about the Tiny. I think it was one of their best picks because Wind Ranger carry would not cut it. But it does mean you have an offlane Wind Ranger. Now it is Amar. We know this guy defies any type of logic when it comes to offlane picks. So I trust him to make it work, but still do feel like they were
offlane ရတော့အခုတည်းကမျက်လုံးနဲ့မမြင်ဘူး
fascinated
ဘာလို့ပြမလဲတော့မသိ
here
ဘူး
in Amar's lane because have you seen him play this hero before?
No.
I don't know how many times he's picked it in pubs. I mean, what's his Dota Plus level?
တော့ဘယ်သူမှမမြင်ဘူး ADS Wind Ranger ဘယ်သူမှမမြင်ဘူး
With his own logic, he shouldn't have been allowed because he doesn't pass the Amar test.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Well, maybe he has been holding on to something. He's got another account that he's in, like whatever the rating is for. I don't even know the names of the Dota Plus thing. That's pretty embarrassing because they're even playing this game for so long. Either way, Vici, do you think that they are the underdogs in this series, or do you think it's pretty evenly matched?
They should be slightly outmatched. Maybe like underdog, I guess is maybe a bit of a strong word, but I would definitely give the favor overall to Falcons, right? But looking at the drafts, I think that we're in for like, it's a very like gameplay heavy game that where it's like about the small things, whether you get to outplay. Because, Tiny eventually, you are quite strong in this game, but there's still this threat of the mid game. There's a Lina that's going to run around with an Aghanim Scepter. There's Moonlight Shadow. A lot of waves are pushed in from Iron Shell. And obviously, you have Spectre in your draft as well.
Yeah, we haven't gotten cast.
ဒီဘက် draft ကိုပိုကြိုက်နေ
I love this hero.
BG draft ကိုပိုကြိုက်နေတာခက်တာ BG အတင်းကဟိုနေ့တည်းကကိုပွဲတွေလိုက်ကြည့်ပြီးအဲ့ကောင်တွေကပြီးတော့ပစ်တာလည်းမစွန့်နိုင်အဲ့လိုပစ်တာပြီးတော့ရှုံးတဲ့ပွဲတွေမနေမနှောပဲဘလို့ဒီအဆင့်ကိုရောက်လာလဲရတော့မသိလိုက်ဘူးအဲ့1 win တဲ့ပွဲတော့မကြည့်လိုက်ရအောင်ဒီပွဲတော့ကတော့ဆုတ်တယ်တော့ချတူ
Huge fan of this hero. Think it's very much forgotten and you
အခုလဲ hero pick ကနည်းနည်းတာနေတယ်ပြောလို့ရလားမိုက်တယ်ဒီဘက် hero pick က
Nice bowling coming out from
Let's see
Crit
as
as Jin Q on the other side pulling some creeps as the Tusks just for this Dark Seer as your, well, I was going to say your idol, Faith Beyond, but you did a video content recently where we asked who your idol was, and you didn't mention him.
No, you
don't forget your idol.
There's Zai, there's Universe. I mentioned a third guy that I'm now forgetting. I think Ice or something. No, but Faith Beyond, he is of course one of the GOATs. He's won TI before, and now he's back playing. He's playing the Darkseid here, which the Tiny is a bit of an annoying matchup for you because Tiny has insanely high damage, which means he has free CS, gets some good denies, and he's not that easy to collapse on later. So I did like the Falcons last pick quite a lot in this draft.
And if you're talking about late game, how does a Tiny match up against a Spectre?
It should.
Like, do you go Silver Edge on this hero? I feel like you do, right?
Yes, you absolutely need Silver Edge. I think you also need Blink Dagger. Like, overall, when I look at the heroes that you're dealing with on the Vici side, you need to jump them. You need to find a way that you start the fight. If you always wait for Vici to get the perfect initiation with some Tusk, Vacuum Wall, Moonlight Shadow, and Haunt, you're kind of getting cooked.
Yeah.
But a 1-to-1 matchup, Spectre beats most of them. I do think that Tiny has a good shot. But the strength of Spectre is also, you can choose your target. You don't have to end up in a 1v1 if you don't want to.
And we look at the mid lane here. Malrine sitting on
off lane အဲ့ ADF ပဲမလား ADF ကဟိုပေါက်ပန်းသား off lane နေဆော့တော့ဆော့ဘူးတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့အလုံးမဖြစ်ဘူးလေ
Yeah, this bot lane Skeeter should just
base မှာစာရပါလေဆော့လိုက်သေးတယ်
They pressure bot
သူနဲ့မှအရင်မှမလိုက်တဲ့ဟာ
or you think this is just going to be a wash of a lane overall?
There is definitely a lot of pressure going
ပန်ဝလီယာ off lane ဆော့တယ်ဒါပန်ဝလီယာ off lane တော့ကတော့သူ win rate မဆိုးဘူးလို့ပြောလို့ရတယ်
neutrals but you know classic post 4 behavior
Fiber off lane တွေဆော့တယ်အဲ့ဒီ win rate ကြီးကလုံးဝ first time လားလို့
but you know his type of mantra still in this game.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad to see Lina again. This hero's picking up steam, it feels like. You feel like it's been underrated until this most recent stretch?
Lina ပိုကောင်းလားလို့နော်
We've seen different builds.
လေဂိမ်းတီကွာ
quite early also in this
မေဂိမ်း
game.
ရောလေဂိမ်းရော Lina ပိုပြီးမိုက်သလား
Like mentioned before, I like that they went for the Spectre round later in the game. So we'll see, you know, if the XM mid Lina can put in some work here. I'm quite faithful in it.
Curious to see what Malrine itemizes this game because he can be kind of off the cuff at times, similar to Malrine, or similar to ATF rather.
I'm also a little bit interested because generally speaking, you want to go the magic build on Snapfire. It's the one that allows you to play the fastest, you're dealing very good damage, but also maybe relying on your ult against Darkseer Vacuum and Shadow Step could be a little bit difficult. So we'll see what route he decides, because of course you can go the travels into Blink Shard, play Magic, but we've also seen a few physical Snapfires.
Yeah, I mean, when you have
Physical Snapfire,
that's
yeah,
kind
now
of
buy
a
my
mix
lower
of
mode.
damages, I guess you don't really have to go.
ကဲဇူက physical Snapfire မြင်
The
နိုင်တယ်
question is,
လို့
again, what is Amar building?
He's definitely going carry. Nah, like you, offlane Wind Ranger, if he buys Guardian Greaves or some shit, I'm leaving. You're gonna solo cast.
Guard, pipe.
No way. Ain't no way. First of all, it's not good. Second of all, it's Amar. I'm pretty sure those items, he removed them from his shop.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
So I'm just expecting most likely just some Maelstrom Pike. I think eventually on the Wind Ranger. You could even, you know, consider like a Silver Edge even later if you want the BKB in the mid game.
Amar gonna get slowed down. A baby arrow comes out from Y. Nice tackle from Amar, though. Will buy himself enough space. Still no first blood in this game.
အဲ့လေသူလည်းဝင်ရရပါတယ်
on the
ဗော
way, who's actually slowed quite a bit. Or is he just that slow in general? Looks like that's the case. Crit coming in from the other side. Gets both inside the cogs as Y taking the brunt of the damage. And the power shot from Amar will give him first blood on the off lane.
ပူကောင်ဆော့တော့လားတဲ့ပူကောင်ဆော့တာဗောဒါ side quest ဖြစ်သွားပြီဟိုဒါ side quest ဖြစ်သွားပြီဟိုက main quest
Too much damage on Wind Ranger, 2 levels in the Starstorm, 1 level in the Arrow. So Crit just comes on over from the side with the boots of speed, easy cogs into the first blood. Which you do kind of need, like Wind Ranger, like this type of the way that she lanes in the offlane.
That's the less you got
much region. You want some good coming your way, and I like this more too. Like you just.
Yep, tag team is preventing him from getting any further. So Jin Q gets some sort of revenge in that top lane. Yeah, Laguna Blade was used in the mid lane. Is that just to pressure him a bit so that they have the advantage for the rune?
It's first of all so much damage, and also you don't need it for like last hitting. Like now the guy is half HP, you're kind of chilling, you got to pressure in the wave, and like you said, 6-minute rune is coming up, which is also why I like Jin Q's rotation, like this minute 5, it turns nighttime, combining your 2 supports in the safe lane, then they can both walk to the mid lane together. It's a very natural but also very strong move.
It's going to be that top rune for XM, so he does pick up the damage rune. Obviously, without Laguna Blade, it's going to be a little bit more difficult without some support to get a kill. As Amar pressured a bit out of this tier 1 area.
Yeah, let's see how this goes, because Amar on low HP, potentially we'll have to see if Malrine is able to help him on the Wisdom Shrine. Of course, he has ult.
9 မိနစ်ရောက်ခံနေနေပြီအမားသူ့သွေးသူမဖြည့်ထားဘူးဒီဘက်လာပြီအဲ့ဒါလီနာပါလာပြီအဲ့ပြဿနာနော်
from Falcon.
ဟောသွေးမဖြည့်ထားဘူးဟော
Okay, so Malrine did get himself another TP to be available.
Yeah, it's going to go for the blink first, it seems, on the Snapfire.
မေရီကငလဲကွာသလားလီနာအပေါ်တက်တော့ဒီကောင်အပေါ်လိုက်မကပဲနဲ့အောက်ကတိုင်နီနဲ့ပေါင်းပြီးတော့ဟို Western Room fight ဖို့လုပ်နေဒီဘက်ကလီနာကလည်း TP ဆင်းလာတယ်ဗျာ Oh my god. Over god ဒီဘက်က next level ကြီးစော့နေတာဟုတ်တယ်ချာကုန်ပြီနောက်မှာ more time case
Yeah, the kiss is coming from afar. He does get burned out, and XM inside gets the Laguna Blade onto Snake King, so it's a trade of sorts, and now it's a 1v1 battle between Skeeter and XM. XM winning it.
Now I'm Marine show man.
As a result, as Malrine though getting doubled up. And he's slowed very much. Only with the brown boots right now, so Jin Q should be able. I mean, the cooldowns are quite a while. He's gonna dodge the arrow. Surely they can catch up to him. He gets to the high ground. Vision advantage is his. Cookie
လွတ်သွားတယ်
Indeed, Mallory somehow gets
BG ကဘယ်တော့အဲ့လောက်ထိစဉ်းစားတတ်ပြီးတော့စော့တက်သွား
Yeah.
ကျွန်တော်အခုလောက်သွားကောင်းတယ်နော်
They were very close to the horn. They did just unlock it now.
ခဏဖိုင်အောက်ကိုဆင်းသွားတာကိုတွေးလိုက်လို့လားဘာလို့လားမသိဘူးအကုန်ပြန်လာကာပြီးတော့ဟီရိုလည်းမစိုးဘူးကွာ
Come on now.
Come on, man the hell up, Shiro.
ဒါတော့
How has Shadow
ခဏဖိုင်မရသွားလို့ကွာရသွားမှဒီကောင်လေးဟိုတန်သွားမှာ
Or is it more the fact that the innate is just
No, it's both because the thing like you just have another way to help.
ဘာဒါပလိမေးတဲ့အေးပါကွာပြီးသွားအမှဝင်ကြပြစ်လို့မရတော့အဲ့ကောင်
You were
ပြစ်လို့မရတော့မဟုတ်ဘူးနော်ကြည့်ရခတ်သွား BKB ဘာညာလို့ဝိုင်း
fight alongside the pulse 5 and then you can also go to the illusion which is incredibly strong. So probably one of my favorite changes that came out of some of the last patches that we've had.
Yeah, and we're finally seeing the results with Spectre actually being picked occasionally.
Usually it does take a while, and we can see Amar's quick buy here with the Mjolnir currently.
Yep, that's right. No big surprise. Anything that does damage, he will go for. In this case, Shiro. Not pressure too much. Crit, level 5, so no hook shot quite yet. We're seeing a lot of level 3 clockworks at this stage of the game, so that's, I guess, good news for Falcons.
Now, Crit knows what's up. He is, I think you may have even said it the other day, he's been the most impressive clockwork out of all the clocks we've seen. I think his positioning is superb. His bowling skills are supreme.
Yeah. I don't think I said that, but I'll take credit.
You said that you liked his clock the most, I'm pretty sure.
ဒီဘက်မနေ့ကပွဲလောက်မချဘူးလေကွာ
Well, you should have.
နေ့ကပွဲ9မိနစ်မှာ16កောင်ဖြစ်နေ
Good player,
An
Crit.
easy
ချချက်တွေ
You know me, I can't lie.
နေ့က PV ပွဲ PV နဲ့ Rune Eater နဲ့တော့ဆို
We can
ပေ
see
ချ
on the other side, Jin Q finally just hits level 5.
တော့နေ့က9မိနစ်မှာ4កောင်ပဲရှိတယ်ဟုတ်ဟုတ်
underleveled
ချရတော့
comparison, Snake King level 4 on the other side.
As Malrine, he
လု
did
တ်ပါ
scan
ဟာ
out Jin Q, so
စ
he
ပ
knows
တာ
that
က
it's
လည်း
on the
level
side.
6တွေပါရောက်နေပြီလေလုတ်တော့လေ rotation ဘာညာအဲအမ Falcon လာပြီ
Spiro getting gone on Skeeter through the gate, gets the avalanche, and they
ဒီ
collapse
တယ်ကွာ
completely.
ဒီတရား
onto
ကောင်တွေ
Shiro.
တခုတော့တခု
Nice pick off for Falcons. First death
ဘာလုံးနေကြ
for the Spectre thus far.
And honestly, this is one of the classic Falcons plays. Like, even Malrine TP to the tier 1 just in case a fight did break out, that you can take this play. So the Skeeter winning his lane.
That's
going through the
Marana
gate,
eh.
also now help Amar in
ဖန်
the
တီးရ
off lane.
မှာဒီအချိန်ကသူတို့ဖန်တီးစပတာဆင်းဘာညာ
As Malorine's going to be
Okay.
spotted by Jin
ကျွန်တော်ဆိုရင်ဖန်တော့ဖန်တီးနေပြီခတ်တာစပတာဆင်းမလာဘူးဒါဆင်းလာလဲလွယ်တော့မလွယ်ဘူးကွာဒီနေရာကြီးက ဟို Mortimer မှာ kiss တွေမိနေပြီ
taking a ton of damage as a result, burning away.
Oh, shit.
He's still going to live. The Snake is going to try to finish the job. He will do so. It's going to cost him his life.
2 for 1
Along with crit. So both supports bite the dust for Falcons, but I mean, if you're trading XN, you'll take that. But
Oh, thank you ဟုတ်တယ်စကတာ blast ကိုရှောင်သွားတာ Wow.
Triple kill for Y on this Marana. Nice shackle coming out.
Missed the power shot though.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do any more damage, so that'll break the fight up completely.
Okay, so at the start of the fight, I was like, okay, this is still decent.
Hello,
for Falcons. They
Chabi,
took the top
it
tier
wasn't,
one, but
yeah.
with everything that ended up happening, like you want these small fights and skirmishes on Spectre, even if you only get the assist, also like a triple kill for Y. Like maybe during this, I believe that Skeeter has a TP ready later on, perhaps with an avalanche when they were diving that could have helped out, but you can just see all this damage. Like Snapfire ult this early on is so deadly.
Exxon was actually super close to living there too, because the last glob wasn't quite enough to get the
ပြ
kill.
စ်ကြိုက်လို့ VG ထည့်လိုက်တာဟုတ်တယ်ကိုလည်း pick ကို VG တော့ကြိုက်နေ
XM has boots of travel as his
ဒါပေမဲ့
first item, and
အဲ့ကောင်တွေက
counterpart
ပစ်ကြိုက်
now
ပြီးတော့
still
ဖက်လို့မရ
eyeing up the blink. We'll see if he
ဟိုမှတ်
changes his
သွား
mind
ဟို
for
တလောက
boots. I assume he's want
ရှေ့
boots
ရှေ့
of
group
travel.
ပွဲတော့
Yeah, so
ပစ်ဆောင်ကြိုက်တယ်ဆိုထည့်လိုက်တာစောက်ဘောတွေကဘာလို့နေမှမသိ
It's a
ဘူး
bit more of it's
ပစ်တာကြီးကိုချုံအောင်စောဗျာအဲ့လိုကောင်းတယ်အဲ့ကြောင့်
you can unlock things that you didn't have before. You could potentially
ကေကိုပါပဲ
smoke
ထည့်
up
တာ
with, yeah, with Mr. Marine and smoke maybe into the bottom side or fight plays that you otherwise cannot. They also TP'd Skeeter into the mid lane to go for a smoke, so an active rune timing on the 12-minute mark here.
And Jin Q going to get avalanched into the cookie and into his
Oh,
death, although
လွတ်သွားလောက်ပြီ
Snowball
လား
will
ဟောမလို့ဘူးอ่ะ
delay it just a tad. And the invis
It's
rune
got
was
blue
grabbed by
sawa.
Jin Q
Face
before
mode.
that point.
Invisible sawa.
Still a
Bruno
2K
မရ
lead
ဘူး
though for Falcons. And yeah, we can see Marine just queue up the kind of normal items, boots of travel into the shard. Skeeter, also no surprise on the tiny. You go to Echo Saber. You're gonna go for the Shadow Blade.
Yeah, Arrow.
Yep, see you later, range creep.
To the range, and tier 1 tower taking some damage, but you can see the TP's on the way. They do spot it. Nice cogs. More bowling. And Jin-Q going to be rewarded for his TP.
Does mean during all of this, though,
That's the
very
very
nicely on the dark
Lema
side,
ayan
which means even if you leave the lane,
Dude,
you
thought
can keep cutting some
only,
creeps, you
yeah.
can keep stacking.
လူသွားပြနေရ
And Moonlight Shadow being put to good use on top of Amar here. Sets up the LSA into the Laguna and into the Arrow. It's not quite enough yet. The last right click was needed as XM takes his second kill of the game on the Lina.
There's a lot of like very nice micro plays. So when you play offlane Wind Ranger, you don't want to end up in this position where Amar just died. And usually you want to pull the hard camp in the top lane after you kill the tier 1 tower. But if you look at what Vici did, they sentryed the hard camp. So there's no way for you to bring the lane back. They also have a lane war to always see where is this guy after all. So now you kind of indirectly force himself to overplay, kill him, and they're farming stacks at the same time.
အေး
very
စ
nice
တက်ကို
stuff.
သွားပြီးပြဿနာရှာ
As Mallory using that blink
Okay,
dagger to full
nah,
effect.
eh.
The wall comes out early from Bach to try to delay
Yeah,
this
no,
from
meow.
Falcon's side, and I guess in a way it does work as Snake King now running away.
တော်ရင်လှုပ်ချင်ဝင်နေကြ
A
အောင်
lot of
ခေါ်အောင်
ancients taken there. They are quite low though.
Yeah, you'll just keep farming this on the darks here. So they are happy with a very static map. If any overplays, of course, happen, you will look at it with the Haunt, Shiro, who's currently just happily farming his Blade Mail. I mean, once he has this, it's quite nice for him
အာ
to
ရုံ
reach
ခိုးခံရ
into
ပြီ
the game.
ဟိုးမှာရုံခိုး
Seems
ခံရ
that
ပြီ
Mallory
F1
has passed on
F1
the
ရောပါ
script
ဝိုင်း
into
ပြော
the
တာ
next series.
That's right.
Execute Wisdom Shrine Steal.
Well done.
Yeah, it's a great Blade
Wisdom
Mail.
Rune ကိုခိုးခံရတယ်နော်အဲ့ဒါမကောင်း
Especially
ဘူး
Wind Ranger and Snapfire ult.
Wait, who
လာပါ
played
ဖမ်း
it?
လိုက်သေးတယ်
Spectre.
Oh,
It's
that's
super good.
cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
Helps you, first of all, helps you farm. It's super good for the fighting. So, yeah, we've seen this before. You steal the Wisdom Shrine, you kill some camps, but you do pay the price.
Well, Y will take a tumble. A la Malady, without the Malad, just the Y.
Yeah, just very good. Lacoste will be proud of this one. Might be chuckling.
XM has the Kaya now. As he's
Kaya
off the Dragon
Trave.
Scepter, it seems we'll
Oh,
talk
it's
about
a
that in
bad
just a
item.
moment, but I think we're going to have a connection here onto Skeeter. Not able to lock him in, though, is Jin-Q.
အဲ့စပယ်တိုက်ဆုံးရင်ဝင်နေကြအနေများတယ်တခါလေး press လို့ရတယ်နောက်ပိုင်းကဝင်နေကြအောင်ဟိုဟာ
Be careful how you play here. They are smoking.
ခဏ fire အောင်တခါလေးဖြတ်လို့ရ
I think Jin-Q is going to
But
dodge
that's
the
it.
avalanche, though, but there's
When
the
that
hook shot
gets-
onto the back line, onto
မထွက်သွားဘူးဟေးဒါပေမဲ့အနောက်မှာကလောဝိုင်းနဲ့ဟိုဟာနဲ့ကပုံမတွဲထားတာမော်တိုင်းမှာ kiss တွေစောင်းရမ်းတာလေဟေး
Shiro joined the party. I think he regrets his decision.
Oh shit
The wall comes out a little bit too late as Skeeter. Can he outrun his illusion? Looks like Amar will clean it
2
up
for
for
3
him. So 3 for 2 in favor of Falcons. And why
ပြန်လာပေါ့
we need to
It's not an
perfect
easy kill.
execution here. Goes for the leap into the Starstorm. Not enough. Definitely needed the arrow on top.
I was thinking maybe he would try to arrow from the high ground, but either way, Falcons with a very timely response there earlier.
ဟိုကပြာချောင်းမရခင်ထိရတော့အဲ့ကွက်နဲ့တေးဦးမှာ power ကော့ရယ်ဟိုမှာ
Amar also kind of bailing out his
kiss
team.
နဲ့ရှောမှာပဲတော့ပြာချောင်းမြန်ဖမ်းလိုက်ရအောင်
And what do you think of the Aghanim Scepter that
အဲ့ဗဒဲဒီကောင်လေး
wants to
အစာပိုင်းချတာဓာတ်စီရရဲ့ဟို
We're gonna see this
Utility
again.
item တွေမပါသေးဘူးနော်
Initially, right? You kill the Winter Wyvern first, but this hook shot into the kisses, and I think Bach is kind of low on mana, so there's not
Five
many
other
shells
fight,
going
like Jonah,
on, no
Dio.
real vacuum available either. He also just got his
တကယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်
wall
တက်
available
စကာ
at this
မ
moment.
ရာနာအဲ့လိုစပက်တာကနည်းနည်းတစ်ကော့လေးတွေပဲစောအောင်ပါလားလှုပ်လှုပ်ရှာရှာ
Holding them in place as Box
Power
doing a
shot.
lot of damage over time.
Oh,
That
power shot.
a little bit early, but I think they're still going to find the 2 kills they came for.
ဒီလေဟာ
Nicely done from Falcons as Y will be able to escape. As this 2K lead is very firm now.
အစီနီရဲ့လေးလုံးကဘယ်သူကြီးလဲ
They're definitely pacing up.
Hey, no,
And it's
I
also
see.
the right thing to do. You asked about the Aghanim Scepter, which is very good on Lina. But you're now building 2 items on Vici. You kind of have to, right? The Radiance and the Ags. They're kind of... It's
Mingla
dead
ba,
goal
Mingla
until
ba,
you fully
bro.
complete those items. Like the build up to Aghanims, no one really cares. Get a little bit of HP. So if you're Falcons, definitely want to continue to keep up the pressure. But yeah, Lina Ags, unobstructed movement. You get insane spell lamp and magic resistance, which is great against the Radiant draft.
Yeah, they are almost all magic damage. Tiny ends up getting a lot of physical the later the game goes, and obviously the Windrunner, especially with Amar playing the way he is. He's 4-1 actually as the off-lane.
Yeah, they only squeezed in that one little play on him earlier. Possessed Mask is also something you feel quite happy with on the Wind Ranger because you have no sustain.
ဒီဒါဆေးဝါးရဲ့တန်းသွားနေပြီကွာတော့နေအားလေးရိုက်တော့မှာ ဘေဂိန်းတော့စပတ်တာလီနာကိုမနိုင်ဘူးဆိုတာဒီကောင်တွေသိတယ်အဲ့တော့အားလေးရိုက်တော့
He is found. LSA ready for him along with the Laguna Blade, and they're going to be cleaning him up easily. So a very big kill for Vici, showing some semblance of life here.
No, definitely. That was.
ဒါကနဲ့အရင်ဆော့တယ်မစိုးလားလို့တိုင်နေရဒီပွဲဆေးပါရမတော်ပဲဒါကနဲ့အရင်ဆော့ရင်လီနာတို့ဘာလို့အခုချိန်
I'm a bit surprised that I'm not seeing
တော့ပေပါပဲ Tiny 1-2 နှစ်ချက်ခုတ်ဆိုရင်
against the Tiny, the Snapfire is like abundance.
ဆေးပါကြီးကြောက်ဆော့လိုမျိုးအဲ့လိုအီပဲနဲ့လမ်းနေရှောက်
He bought the shard early on, which is very good in this game, but it's also quite aggressive into the Shivas. Obviously, the minus attack speed against Tiny is incredible. Probably the best hero to build it against. Very low attack speed, incredibly high damage hero.
This is like, I'm trying to think if there's any other hero that I consistently see the casual Chasm Stone on, other than Darkseer. I've definitely seen this a few times. His arrow's actually going to cancel out the ult coming out from this.
That's a real.
When did that happen? I never saw that.
I don't think I called that either. I was about to say that's a dirty pause, like just killing the guy straight up after.
We never got to see that one. That must have happened off camera while the fight was continuing elsewhere. Man, that's the second time I've done that in my career.
Yeah, keep it up.
Chalk it up to old age.
As a Skeeter dies again. Let me think of the Chasm Stone. Sometimes you see it on Underlord, that's pretty good. Seen people buy it on Snapfire. Darkseer, of course, also very nice with the good old vacuum. Me like. Seen it on some support Earthshakers, which is, of course, played very, very little.
ဘာကြနေရတော့ replay ကဘလို့ဟိုကောင်လေးလမ်းလျှောက်လာပြီဗျ
is actually opting for a blink dagger next, which is something we've been seeing more and more on these clockworks. Why is that?
It just seems to be more and more kind of what you want to do. It's about, you know, getting a hook shot and then repositioning or just blinking behind him and playing on the cogs, because the hero is a lot more about having proper positioning and then landing your hook and cogs than it really is anything else.
Yeah.
You're not expected to be on top of someone with a battery assault. It's a very, very big bonus that you're playing for. True.
What level is his battery assault right now? Level 1, classic.
I'm even surprised he has a level in it. Usually you see like 044. Mr. Snake King.
Yeah, they find him, and Boots of Travel with Shiro coming in as well. Will eat him up very easily. His Bach actually taking a ton of damage from Amar, so he actually gets a bigger kill isolated from the group. Hookshot's gonna miss. This probably will end the fight. Why?
Wow.
No more leaps to work with, so second form of a kill.
No, I'm I wonder if he's being slightly disrespected by some of the
not
gonna fully commit. LSA
see you later.
rather not enough as Amar will right click him down. In addition, he's 6-1 on Windrunner off lane. What are we watching? What are we witnessing?
He's owning it. He's going to have a very good time on the BKB as well, and having like Mjolnir BKB in this draft is incredibly good against the Dire side, because while Bach is buying the Shivas, which is insanely good against the Tiny, Windranger doesn't care. You have like max.
ကေဝနိုင်လားကေဝပါမှာကေဝထည့်တာချတဲ့ကောင်တွေရွေးမလို့တခုပဲဟိုဘက် VDR ကောင်တွေစောက်သုံးမကြရင်တော့
The only thing he kind of has to worry about is maybe
ပေကွာတောက်ချောက်ကြီးဖိသွားရင်ပွဲကအဲ့လိုကြီးအစောကြီးပြီးသွားမလားမသိ
If this is what a bronze
VD ဘက်အနေနဲ့ပြန်လုံနိုင်မှရမယ်အခုတော့နောက်ဘောကတဖြည်းဖြည်းမှတာလာပြီ 4K တဲ့
At this point, I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. This guy
is different လေကွာတယ်ပြီးရင်ကြည့်အောင်ကော3ကောင်နောက်ဘောကပေကွာ3ကောင်ထိတ်မှာဖြစ်
Even throughout his couple years that he's now played competitive, I think this guy's like individual skill and understanding is just so high that he can make any hero work.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy played offlane Ursa at TI finals in game 5.
All right, I'll believe it when he picks Ricky.
I mean, that hero's just garbage.
Exactly.
Actually, mid Ricky is playable, but offlane Ricky, I don't even know if he could make that work.
That's the true test.
We'll see it in game 2, of course.
Right here. Challenge
Let
accepted.
them know.
AUI, if you're watching, please apply.
You think he's not watching?
If you're listening, he usually tunes me out. As Hero about to get ganked by 3 members of Falcons, although his spidey senses are tingling.
Yeah, they did go for a scan, and the arrow also hitting here for a while. It's been a little bit of a quiet couple minutes for Vici, right? We talked about the items earlier, Aghanim, Scepter, and Radiance, 2 items that you have to like farm towards for a long time. But no Moonlight Shadow pickoffs, no Haunt pickoffs, bottom tier 1 still available as well. kind of shows a bit of the strength of this last pick Tiny as well, being able to just sit in this area for a long time.
And Faith Beyond just about finished with just a recipe away for the Shiva's guard, as he's gonna eventually get this tower with the rally skeletons.
Yeah, another reason why Dominator is just so good. It's bonus farm, but also the reason mid tower died is the Helm of Dominator. The reason the bottom tier 1 died, Helm of Dominator. Looking for a play on Amar here. No BKB yet.
Yeah, they're gonna get the punch up into the LSA. They bring everyone basically, and they assassinate basically what I would consider to be the carry of this game so far.
Oh, he is. He definitely is. Also, like with this top net worth currently, because Skeeter is not going to enjoy team fighting once there's a Shivas.
XM found out. They get the avalanche set up for the Mortimers as well. So Skeeter, nothing comes for free for Falcons. They lose somebody, they usually get a better trade. At least that's been the case so far in this game.
Yeah, because VG, they have a couple of sentries on the map, actually quite a few, but none like kind of deep in the mid-river. It's very much on their own side. So Skeeter finding a very, very, you know, nice move there with the Shadow Blade to get this pick off onto XM.
Malrine with an invisibility rune as he is
ဒီမိုင်းလည်းပူရမ်းပါတော့ဒီမှာ
great
ပူရမ်းမှာရှိတယ်မပစ်တာ
off lane
ဒီဘက်တင်းမသိမကောင်း
Skeeter
ဖက်ကွန်ဘက်ကြည့်မယ်ကွာဒီမှာအဲ့လောက်
a little bit
စပတာတို့ပါတော့
It's pretty early pickup. You typically get it this
အဲ့လို
on Darkseer.
It can be quite good, like when you just walk.
နည်းမာရော
It's quite nice against like Tiny. Like it's overall about the trail. So we do see it generally when you can play very aggressive, like you have an Ursa in your lineup or maybe a Weaver.
ADM ဆိုတဲ့ကောင်ကလည်းသူကိုင်းချင်းကိုင်းတာပါပဲတကယ်ဆို
earlier than usual.
သူကသူကောင်းကောင်းမကောင်းကောင်း
So they're not going to quite oblige to the Tormentor.
ဒီပွဲကဘာလို့
don't see
အဲ့
anything
လို
on the
မျိုး
map.
ဝင်ရင်ကြ offlane ဆော့လိုက်လဲ
Be
တော့
careful.
မသိဘူးပေါ့နော်
Interesting. Definitely
အလုပ်ဖြစ်နေတာပဲလောလောဆယ်အထီကသူ AC ပဲ
I guess maybe you're
အရင်တာနေတဲ့ပုံစံတော့မရှိဘူးအသင်းနဲ့တင်းရဲ့ဒီ power အရဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီအချိန်မှာဖယ်ကွန်ကတာနေရမှာဆောင်းရမ်းတာနေရမှာကွာ
The sentry will see
အခုဆောင်းရမ်းမတာဘူးအဲ့လိုဒဲဒဲပဲလို့တော့ပြောလို့ရတယ်ဒါ Network 3K ဆိုတာဒဲဒဲပဲပြောလို့ရတယ်ပေါ့နော်
3K lead for Falcons.
ဝင်ရင်ကြ offlane ကသူ late game secure ဖြစ်အောင်လုပ်လိုက်တာလားဘာလားဒီကိန်းညရင်တော့ carry အားကနှစ်ကောင်ဖြစ်သွားပြီဝင်းရင်ကြာရောတိုင်နီရောသိရမလား Snapfire ကလည်းဒါ
You have
သူကလည်းသူ
which is the best
ဒီကိန်းရောက်လာ
tool
လေး
for
လေး
you definitely can
ပြစ်လို့ရလေးလေးပေါ့
Dire is fine because you have Iron Shells and Tag Team. So
အလုံးက
maybe
super
give it
late
to
game
VG
အတွက်ကို
slightly.
ပစ်လိုက်တာလားမသိ
Once
ဘူး
you
နော်
unlock Manta style on VG, it's absolutely in their favor. So could definitely see a world where Falcons will want to control that area and then turn it into a team fight because their like both team have insane like pit fight abilities, right? You have Darkseer Vacuum Wall, you have Winter's Curse, you have Snapfire Kisses. So might see a lot of team fighting around
Feels
the
like
Roche.
if Falcons have to use focus fire to kill Roche, if it gets contested, then that's
It's
real bad, right?
That's why it's horrible. And Falcons are very good at those type of things. They do not overcommit. They wait. They play patient. They wait for the moment. So I wouldn't really see that situation happening.
Smoke from Vici, scans coming out, and looks like they will not connect onto anyone as Skeeter already exited the area. I think I find so fascinating about Falcons, as we're going to get a pause here.
A bit of Kale.
I find them to be one of the most fascinating teams in history because of the dynamic that they have in the team. They have, I mean, not to mention AUI as coach, but Malrine, Amar, and Skeeter, for a very large portion of time, especially when the meta really aligns with them, they can all play similar hero pools.
Yeah.
And be able to flex like that in the
You
draft
duration
gives you
over
such a
mla
leg
mdi.
up overall. And then you
Eh
have,
over duration
I mean,
over
just
အဲ့လို
in a
မျိုးပုံစံ
traditional
သွားလာ
sense from how they're playing now, Skeeter, it
Jauh
just
mah.
never feels
Wait,
like he's
တော်များနေ
actually the
ဆို
carry player. He's like the backup, like
Yeah.
the stable guy that will always give enough space for the likes of Amar and Malrine.
And the thing I have to mention is that, you know, Amar and Malrine, I love them and they're incredibly good players. But I think this type of carry player, they don't get the credit they deserve. Think of like Matamba Man back in the day, you know? It's like the type of shadow carry. If you need them to hard carry, Skeeter can. Matamba Man always could. But they're the reason why some of these teams work with the greedy players that they do have.
Yep,
Oh.
Malrine's gonna get punched in the air.
Malrine
Arrow's gonna come in and
baby,
connect as
Emma.
well. XM there to finish him off. Beautiful kill from Vici Gaming. And now Falcons on the run. Snake King able to traverse terrain here. Looks like he'll get out just fine. Vici with a one and done.
Very, very necessary
Damn
curse,
yeah.
because otherwise snaking was
Hey,
for sure
Magic
dead.
amplify
You can see
35
a
ရာ
little
ခိုင်နှုန်း
bit
ကြီး
of
သိ
the
တာ
power
ပဲ
coming in, you know,
ဒီနာ
Moonlight Shadow
ဟိုဟာ
into
ကြီး
the
က
punch,
ကြာ
you have a
ကြောင်း
quick
ကြီးက
follow-up. And VG Gaming, they got through some of the hardest timing of the map. Bach, though, maybe
Never
not so
for
lucky.
free. Never for free, it seems. XM's going to find another kill, though, in the form of crit, at the very least.
Still, overall, I do think VG have a lot of power spikes coming their way, right? They got to the Aghanim. Sure, you lost a couple of heroes here or there, but Yasha Kaya, Ags completed on Lina. XM is closing in on the Blink Dagger. And honestly, the Radiance for Spectre, it's a small time. Your illusions are slightly better, but once you have Manta, that's when you're really looking to get more involved. If there's any stun, a support will insta-die if you haunt in and drop the Manta.
Tiny over ဖြတ်လို့ရလောက်တယ် refresher တွေပါလာရင် Lina
25 minutes in and still no Roche attempt. I have to say that's a little unusual.
E-play နဲ့ Tiny over အဲ့လိုမျိုး press damage share ပေးလို့ရ
If you commit
တခုံးမှာသွားဖို့စဉ်းစားနေတာကွာဒီကောင်
against the other and they like smoke over or anything, they're going to wipe the floor with you.
ပြော
You
ရ
can see
ရ
the same, yeah. Tormentor as well.
ချောင်းနဲ့ချောင်း
right?
ပြစ်
Still
ထိုး
up to 26 minutes. Like they're just respecting each other. One team has Clockwork, the other team has Spectre, so you can potentially haunt over.
When have we seen Tormentor taken on this side of the map?
I don't think we've seen it.
It's kind of crazy that it has this mechanic in the game that we rarely get to see actually until like much later in the game. We're going to see the rocket pack come out for crit,
which is quite nice. Now him and Lina can both play Jetpack Simulator in this game.
ကလောက်ရဲ့ဓာတ်ကားနဲ့
you can see them flying next to each other.
လောက်ရဲ့ဓာတ်ကားလို့လား
Ooh, in the cover of
Smoke
the
is breaking.
Jin Q in the tree line. Amar didn't want to go for him apparently. He's going to get the blink off, but they still have the vision. And there's the harpoon and now the CC. Basically an insta-gib once they actually catch up to Jin Q.
When I'm looking at some of these next fights, it's honestly more important that the supports for Falcon stay alive. Usually within the haunt, of course, if you can clutch out a core, that's amazing for you. But then there's Winter's Curse can come through, Cold Embrace can come through. But if you get to kill Wyvern or Clockwork within haunt, you will generally win those fights. So I like the itemization from snaking. You got a glimmer, got some drums to go around. But I also hope that all the cores, you need to pay attention to your supports.
Hey, တွေ့ပြီတကောင်အခုမှလုံးမယ်ထင်တယ် Roshan ကောင်နေနောက်တစ်ကောင်ထက်ရှာနေတာ Roshan မလုံးခင်မှာနောက်ထပ်တစ်ကောင်တော့ free ထက်ကြိတ်လိုက်အခုမှလုံးတော့မှာ Roshan
Slightly better map, I think. As okay, that answers your question.
Yep.
They have mid control. At
least
though.
ထမယ်ထင်တယ် VG ကကောင်နေမရာနာမပေါင်းနော်မုံလိုက် share တွေပါမရဘူး
Likely to be the sacrifice. Does have the blink dagger though. And Roche,
they're finding a good angle, but it's
they'll
late.
Find it first. Yeah, they should get it in time. Now will Vici want to fight regardless?
Someone is
gonna spot the Snake King Wyvern as the hook shot coming in right on top of Jin Q. Another death for him. And haunt on the back line onto Mal Reed.
Oh, ဟဲ့ဝေါ်ကြီးကကောင်းသွားပြီ Falcon ဝေါ်ကြီးက
with a triple kill now.
တေးပြီလေမတေးဘူးရဟိုကောင်စပတာပြတ်သွားတယ်
Continuing his reign of terror onto Amar.
Oh,
there you go. Okay. I didn't know the XM picked that up, but hell yeah.
That's always the funniest.
ရှုံးနိုင်တယ်ရှုံးနိုင်တယ် Falcon ကြီး Falcon ကတော့ဂျင်းထဲပြီလို့ဟိုကောင်ဝေါ်ကြီးကကောင်းလိုက်တာကွာ
Ages, but Falcons pay a heavy price.
No, they absolutely do. It was quite good of them to get it, like to get the agent. You can just see the power of Spectre. Look at him.
ဒီကစပတာစစ်သုံးလိုက်ပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အားလုံးရဲ့ vision ပေါ်သွားကွာဘယ် hero တွေဘယ်နားမှာလဲဆိုတော့ပေါ်သွားဓာတ်စီကအေးသေးသေး
crazy damage.
ဟိုဝင်လို့ရတယ်
His blade mail so early actually. I figured you just wait for the Windrunner ult, but
I definitely think you can wait because right it was overall.
တိုင်နေကအေးကြကြပါဟာ
But at the same
အေး
time,
ကြကြီးက waste တာဗောအဲ့လို
if you
ကြ
get just stun locked, then you feel bad not using it. So
and Amar has BKB anyway, who's working currently on a Satanic, which will help him.
Yeah, blade mail not nearly as good as it used to be, I suppose. I remember back in the day with Spectre.
Oh, it used to
be 9လောက်လား9လောက်တယ်
like super late.
ပွဲစားတွေကပြောပါတယ်ကိုပစ်ကြိုက်တယ်လို့ VG ကိုဒီကောင်လေးအသင်းကိုမယုံလို့
I like the Dagon on the Lina. First of all, the
မပေါ်အောင်တွေကအခုကြမှာလာကောင်းတယ်ဘာဆေးစားလိုက်တာတော့
not that much. It's only 60 level 1. But
ချင်းပြောင်းလဲသွားတော့
this hero is crazy with the Kaya Yasha. Oh yeah, so that's the other thing we missed earlier.
Yeah, they got the Aegis.
They got Aegis and BKB. Yeah, that fully flew over me.
Well, so did Lina. She has Ags.
That's true, and so will Clockwork.
That's why we can't find them.
He's got the rocket pack.
And it's a BKB now picked up from Box. They completely nullify this Roche kill. Like, absolutely nothing to show for it as Falcons.
And even now, like when you're tiny, like Skeeter is having a good game, of course, on the carry tiny, but into a Shiva's guard that's lowering your attack speed by a lot. Like for tiny, it's actually massive. So it is definitely still.
Tiny က save လိုက်သွားရင်လည်းသွားလိုက်တော့လေလို့ BKB သွားပြီးအခုမှတကားပြန်သွားဖို့လုပ်နေတယ်စကီတာ
Pushes the Marana down into the avalanche, into the bowling, but does have the leap and the greaves.
Needed a couple more
follow-ups.
The push didn't allow the toss for Skeeter.
What do you think of this build from Y? So he goes for greaves, which obviously are just good items.
It's very good.
A lot of Maranas we're seeing are very greedy. They just go Ags first. They play for the late game. Does this fall off?
I like it for the fact that you wanna, like, you farmed so long, you actually got to this stage pretty nicely. You didn't need more greed to, like, actually, you know, just allow Falcons to run you over. Now your heroes are ready to fight. And I think building items that amplify this is great. Maybe in like 10, 15 minutes, you can go back to the greed and back to the scaling.
Yeah, Malrain launched in the air. They have all the burst damage. Dagon coming out from XM again. Q looks like he might survive. Gets off the Yules. There's Amar in the area to try to finish the jump.
စပဒါစစ်အမအကုန်လုံးကားချိတ်နောက်မှာစမူရာရဲ့စပဒါစစ်နဲ့ဒီကိုကားချိတ်နေတာပဲရှုံးပြီကွာအဲ့လောက်ဆိုတိုင်းနီပြန်ဝင်လာတော့ပြန်ဝင်လာတယ်အမေမရဘူးတိုင်းနီလည်း1 2ဟိုပြီးရင်ပြီးပြီတော့လောက်ပြီ
Looks like he will walk away.
ဒေဂင်းကြီးတို့ကစပဒါကြီးဖြစ်နေ
See you later.
As he falls to the ground from XM, and they're going to get a tier 2 on top of this as Vici Gaming showing up big time in the last few minutes.
It is so much easier for them to maneuver around the map at the moment with like all the macro stuff.
2 စီးထဲတာလေဘာတော့ဖဲကုန်ကြီးအောက်တလွဲ
just all around the map.
အော်လေတိတ်မရဘူးဒီကောင်လေးကိုထဲရ
BKB is going your way as well. As Marine, once you get punched up, you're gone. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the beauty of this is Lina, I mean, they were all smoked, but she showed her spells in the bot side of the map, and immediately Falcons pinged it, and within 10 seconds, they're already here ganking the top lane.
Yeah, you've got Travels. They're very mobile, of course, with all the heroes that they have, and just very nice spell usage too, right? Like Jin Q getting out initially under the Moonlight Shadow and guarding Greaves. You keep the fight going on. And I love watching XM. This guy is one of my favorite mid laners. I think it's been a long time since we've had like an ultra explosive like mid player from the Chinese scene.
It's actually upgrading Dagon.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great.
2 စီးတော့သွားပြီလားလို့သွားပြီဗော2စီးတော့ဒီပွဲကနိုင်သွားတော့ပြီ
Like, come on guys.
ဒီကောင်လေးတကယ်စောနိုင်နေဆိုရင်နိုင်နေကွာ
Okay, I don't want to
ကိုပြောသလိုပဲ hero ကကွာတယ်ဒီပွဲကဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့ ADF
Look at his loss.
win range ကြီးဖြစ်နေတယ်အဲ့ဒါတကြောင်
All you want to do on Lina is
နော် miss နဲ့ fire နဲ့ Lina နဲ့ကဘလို့ကြည့်ကြည့် Lina ကပူတာတယ်လေကင်းက
Right.
And I think with the changes to
press damage ချင်းရှင်မယ်ဆိုရင်ပေါ့နော်
I do think they're putting the item in like a very, very nice spot.
It doesn't look like it lowers cooldown anymore, right? So 21-second flat, it seems, as Malrain and Skeeter team up to take out one.
That's a big one with the gem.
Or
maybe not.
ဒါပေမဲ့ play style နဲ့ပြန်နိုင်လောက်လားပေါ့
Hookshot's going to completely miss.
အဲ့ဒါပဲမျှော်လင့်ရမှာ play style တခုခုအဲ့လို off guard တခုခုလောက်ပါနောက်မှာနှကောင်ပါသွားပြီ
The double kill though. They zap down Snake King in turn. So 2 for 1 just supports dead at the moment.
အဲ့လို Lina ကိုအရင်ဆုံးမိသွားပြီးတော့ battle နိုင်သွားတာတို့ပါအဲ့လိုကွက်တွေတော့ပြောလို့တော့မရဘူးပေါ့နော်ဒါဘာမှမဆိုတော့ဖြစ်သွားနိုင်
Marine ended up dropping one item faster.
Collapse was in the
ပုံ
game.
မှန်ဒီ905ရောက်ခဲရဲချမယ်ဆိုရင်စပတာစစ်လေး3ဓာတ်စီယာ walking Falcon စုနဲ့အိုင်နေပတ်နေမှာဒီဘက်ကောင်လေး
But it's been a
Esporots
while since
စစ်သုံးလိုက်တာနဲ့
Falcons had
vision တွေ
some
ပေါ်သွားပြီကွာ
meaningful kills, I would say. Of course, they did get the Roche earlier. But
တခုရှိတာသိရမလား905ရောက် battle ဟိုလိုမ
And he's
ဖြစ်ပဲနဲ့
auto-buying the recipe again. So most expensive item in the
အ
game.
လစ်လေးလိုက်ချလို့ရှိရင်တော့တမျိုးဖြစ်သွားနိုင်သေးတယ်
Yeah,
still very, very good.
that is hilarious. I love it.
အဖေကပါဝါနေနဲ့ပူတာကွာအသင်းပါဝါနေနဲ့ပူ
Especially
တာ
now that it doesn't kill creeps
I
instantly,
think it
right?
was
Chemistry
time-bound.
to
I mean, if
physical
you're
to-
at level 5 Dagon, you're
Chemistry to
one-
physical
one
to
zapping
puta.
somebody, that's for sure.
True.
The only other guy I saw it build in this tournament.
ADF ပစ်က
was
စတာမလား ADF ပစ်မဟုတ်ဘူးဒီကောင်လေး win range ကိုထိ carry ပစ်ထားတာသိလား carry ပစ်ထားပြီးတော့မှ last pick ကိုတိုင်နီးဖြတ်ဝင်လိုက်တယ်ဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့ဒီဘက်စပတာပစ်လိုက်လို့လားဘာလို့လားမသေးခွဲဘူးကွာ
I want to see though, like
win range ကို
Falcons,
carry ပဲ
even
ဘာလို့ဆက်မ
though
ထားလိုက်တာလဲ
kill
ဆိုတဲ့ဟာကိုကိုလည်းစဉ်းစားလို့မရ
trying to have a read on, like, the actual
သူတို့
strength
ဂျားထဲ
of
မှာ
their
တစ်ခုခုတော့ရှိမှာကွာ
they are struggling at the moment because some of their next items that are coming out, it's a lot of survivability, right? It's the It's a Satanic for Amar. It's a BKB for
ငေးမှာဖားရောက်မှာပါလာပြီ
Marine.
တေဝတာပြင်
This
တာ
is cool, I have to mention. The Aghanim Scepter.
That's the
out for
Pavia.
Shiro. I don't know if you go for this normally. Can you tell me? It's very cool. You pop Haunt, and when you reality onto the first illusion,
Yeah.
fears enemies around. That's super cool.
It is not something you see that often because honestly, I don't think it's that amazing, but it's really good here against the Snapfire. They did scan them out.
That's true.
Crit, great positioning.
Yeah, Skeeter. Hey, we'll be able to take out Jin Q in turn here. The wall comes
နောက်မှ
out.
winter gas နဲ့ထိန်းထားတယ်အေးအောင် winter gas target ကြီးကိုဟိုက full ဟိုအင်းနဲ့ focus fire ကြီးနဲ့တည်ပြစ်
Will get out. Crit, right click down in the meantime.
အေးသိသွားတယ်ဟာ
Killed off by Amar. Gets back to
ဟာလေ
base, so 1 for 2 favor Falcon.
တွေ့တယ်အကြာကြီးပဲဝင်းရင်ကြာအဲ့ဟို winter gas နဲ့ damage လုံးဝမဝင်တဲ့ကောင်ကြီးကိုထိုင်ပြစ်နေတာအကြာကြီးပဲ
Gets the shrine on his way out.
သိရှိလက်ရှိကိုထိုင်ပြစ်နေ
Quite disjointed, at least for
နောက်ဆုံး
the
winter
start,
gas
42,
ပြီးသွားမှ
Falcons
sure
had
ပါဘူး
insane positioning, right?
A
The
2 for 1
pre-scan on the
trade.
fight, then Crit placing an observer ward and jetpacking
ဟော
off
ဒီ
the
ဘက်
map to
အ
show
မား
everybody
စေတန်းနေနဲ့
to his team was a very, very good start to this fight. And also just cleaning out Jin Q. He's been incredibly annoying. I can see they just got very split, like the curse, and you can see Shiro on the
Yeah,
left
he
side
went
trying to,
to
like, also run down Skeeter.
I was wondering why the curse was lasting so long, but it was the shackle after, I guess.
Yeah, he was just unlocked for forever on Bach. But if I saw properly, he's actually got a hex. Yeah, he's incredibly strong. So even if
Yeah,
you
over
have
wide,
on anyone,
Allez. Yeah, who leader cornerကောင်ဆိုတော့ဒါ
the horn comes in.
နဲဆုံး60
You
ပဲ
are starting to get
Lama.
cooked real quick.
We got
Easy
ourselves
money.
a game here.
Oh, we do. All we needed was to not have a pre-game segment where we say it's a doozy.
ငါ amplifying
Yeah, bad luck
လို့
indeed.
အတိုင်း
Malrine
နေမ
this
ပေးဘူး
time
လား
with the damage rune. It's been
Oh.
XM every single time it feels like with these power runes.
79%. I don't disagree, and also we all know that Dota Plus and Gabe, they love Spectre.
They do.
But I would probably go more with like a 70 to 30. I think 80-20 is quite strong. There's always a lot of gameplay to be had.
So Malrine does have BKB. We'll see if he wants to pop it while using his ult or not, because you're right. He's just going to get feared in all likelihood from Shiro.
Another good scan. They know they're behind this tower.
And the initiation is a little bit awkward thanks to the snowball. As XM coming in from the south. Gonna get bowled on as Jin Q is staying alive. There's the haunt coming out.
မလာပြီ Falcon Wall 4កောင်
As Crit and the rest of Falcons attempting to run away. Amar super low as well. They clean up one support. Feels like every fight is just Falcons trying to run away. As the illusions catching up to him. LSA not going to hit thanks to the BKB. So Skeeter gets to the high ground successfully.
He might actually get out. Interesting. So that's
Somehow, yeah.
after all of that, just one.
တက်စကားတေးရမအောင်တက်စကားမသိပဲနဲ့ဒီဘက်ကလောရသိကွာ
You know, about to respawn very shortly.
အဲ့ဒါစီအောင်သတိထားမှာဒီကောင်လေး
Instant dead there.
ဟိုကောင်ဝင်လာအကုန်လုံးပါသွား
Guarding grease and everything to make.
ကြည့်လိုက်တဲ့4កောင်ဆိုပြီးပဲစုပြုံးနေရပဲ
We'll see it here again.
အပြုံလိုက်မိတာ
Snowballing aggressively.
တက်စကားဝင်ပြီး attention ရှာတယ်စပတာ vision ပြတယ်လုံးဝဓာတ်စီအားဝင်တယ်
Maybe played a little more aggressive towards the start there. Because yeah, only Crit getting out. Very nice disengage from Falcons.
You mean getting out to the grave?
Yeah.
It's crazy when you get a vac wall that is that disgusting. You
Ah,
get
di ba,
a
what did he-
singular kill on a
အဲ့မတွေ့ဘူးလားဒီကောင်ဟိုနဲ့ချမ်းလည်းမတွေ့ဘူးအေးသေးပြီ
Faith Beyond gonna spot a little bit of
Oh, 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 ဟိုကောင်နေမာပြီဟိုကောင်နေမာပြီ အတင်းဝင်သွားတာ
He's in a lot of trouble
အာ
now.
ဒါပေမဲ့
Wall
wall မရှိဘူးကွာ Falcon တော့များတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ wall မပါဘူး
Hook shot on the other side. They get the stun connection on
Winter
the
Gas အိုးနှကောင်မိနေ Winter Gas ဒီမှာလီနာဖင်ရတယ်ရောင်
the shit out of his teammate as the power shot from Mars gonna be enough.
လီနာဘာလို့အဲ့ရောက်သွားဓာတ်ကားကြီးကုန်ပြီးဝင်သွားတယ်ဟာ
Beautiful
အဲ့ဒါမားတာလီနာမားတာအဲ့ဒါလီနာမားတာ
kill for Amar. 3 kills overall in favor of
အဲ့လိုမျိုးတွားလုံးလို့မရဘူးလေဟိုကောင်တွေက
Falcons will happily oblige.
ဒီကောင်တွေတက်စကေးပိုကောင်းတယ်
Look at their
အဲ့လိုမားလို့မရဘူး
came up now after the fight. Haunt is still on cooldown. Definitely overplaying.
2Z stay alive 2Z stay alive
Kind of toy around with you. They bait you to over.
ဒီလိုပါရသွားပြီဆိုတော့ 2Z ကိုပြန်အားပေးရမယ်ငါတို့ရဲ့ကျဲတကွန်
That should just be.
ကျဲတကွန်ဗန်နေဆိုင်တာကောင်းရနော်ဝင်သွားလိုက်အကုန်ထွက်ပြေးလိုက် နည်းနည်းလေးပြန်လှည့်လှုပ်လိုက်အကုန်ထွက်ပြေးလိုက်အဲ့လိုလုပ်နေတယ်ဟိုဘက်ကောင်နေတနေရာထဲမှာအဲ့လိုမျိုးချလို့မရဘူးဖြစ်
That would be a dream.
လိုက်တိုင်းပြေးတိုင်းကစားနေရကွာပြီးတော့တစ်ချက်လေးမားရတယ်အမဝိုက်ခံရအောင်လီနာအရန်လောဓာတ်ကားကြီးကုန်ဝင်သွားတိုင်ဒီဖင်ကြားတယ်
I mean, that's a big reason that Falcons won the fight. They did not have Haunt.
Yeah, or Wall for that matter. Like look at it. You're definitely, this is an overplay.
overplay overplay
Also from snaking in a moment to make
ပြုံ
it
တက်စ
a
ကား
little
လေး
bit
သေးတာ
more
ကွာ
timelier.
ပြီးတော့ကြည့်အောင်မဝင်သွားဆိုတာ
That is a maniac Lincoln, if I may say so.
maniac ဟို blink
You're confident. You're confident.
Oh yeah.
maniac
Beautiful curse as well from snaking. Just excellent execution for Falcons and Vici. It just felt like a cooldown related
ဖြစ်နိုင်သေးတယ်ဟေ့
issue, which I guess maybe that's the game plan from Falcons. You get into an initial fight, you
I don't
make
do
them
the,
use these
I
big
thought she
long
did it,
cooldowns, you back
Aha.
away, you reset, you go in before they're up again.
That is definitely one thing you can do, right? You're
အဲ
playing
ဒီဘက်
against
မှာဒီ
wall
ဘက်မှာဒီဘက်မှာ
and the
တာ
bomb.
ကြီးတို့
That's why finding himself a very nice spot here in the trees.
တွေ့ဘူးကွာ
Will now spot them on his own ward in the jungle.
နေပြီဟိုဘက်ဝတ်ထောင်လာတယ်
Try to turn this around onto Skeeter as
Uh-oh.
well as the haunt comes out.
ပြေးရပြေးရပြန်ပြီဟေး
You want to Skeeter in the
BKB
tree
ရှိသေးတယ်
line. It's the spectral dagger
BKB
fight
ရှိ
as
သေး
well.
တယ်အော်
Marcus
တ
gets
ကုံ
stuck
နဲ့
doing that much this time around. And kind of isolate the Tusk though, as he's completely
what do you want?
stun-locked here.
wait oi what the fuck
Into the
We're
game.
back.
what the fuck
As Amar with the BKB gonna focus fire. The Shiro Spectre gets to the low ground though and should exit the fight gracefully. So as Jinkyu dies, it's just simply a
Ida,
one-for-one
tu ita sabe
support
jane.
for support, but it's not
Ah,
over
di
yet.
ba
They
ma
find the kill on
ADF ရှော့သွားပြီ ADF ခြံကြသွားပြီ
Still available. And that's 90 seconds without the Windrunner.
Bak is coming in kind of clutch right now with his hexes, as there's so many split fights going on. Like we see Amar on all the way on the right side, like fighting off the Shiro Spectre with his BKB with the Satanic, but then he kind of finds himself out of position because his bros were chasing Jinkyu, taking up all the attention.
Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
All right, what items are we getting close to here? I mean, the Aegis, what, we have 2.5 minutes left. So for Skeeter, Daedalus, he has enough. He has 6K. Question is, does he want to keep for buyback?
Nah, he will. I mean, at this point, because you have Aegis, there's one of two ways. You could either upgrade your Blink into a Swift Blink, because you have Aegis, so that kind of, not fill up that slot. It will be a Daedalus later. Maybe the in-ears are hurting Amar. I'm not gonna lie. Wearing those with the headset on top, it destroys your ears.
Yeah.
Or it could be the lights. Up to you.
It's actually the lights, of course.
Okay, yeah.
Malrine, he's working on a refresher. And speaking of Amar, he has Satanic, didn't realize that, to go along with Mjolnir, BKB, Hurricane Pike, and Daedalus is on the menu. And then on the other side, the Spectre, talked about the Ags already, has Basher now, and 2K into an eventual Abyssal Blade.
Yep.
With
Will just be another way, right, to get immediately onto those heroes. And while the Ags theoretically has sounded good, I don't know if it's done that much yet. And also, like, the Basher into the Abyssal is doing something, I would say, very similar, right? Like, if the Snap Bolt is coming out, you can just haunt on him, bash him, or Abyssal Blade him.
it's so chaotic, yeah, I don't initially see the fear coming out.
It is hard to pay, like, attention to. It does lower the cooldown by 20 seconds as well, which, of course, is quite nice.
400 AoE is pretty small, though. I will say.
Yeah.
For an Aghanim, that's 4,200 gold you're spending.
Maybe we should just let them cook, vacuum into the fear. Could be cool.
That's true. It's got to be perfectly executed, though.
There's a
ဝင်ရ
couple
ညာ
of
လဲဟိုက
items
သွားလို့ရရ
that
နော်
come
တ
out
ကယ်
and
ဆိုရင်
still are coming out for
Fever
Falcons,
Edge.
right? Like Malrine with his refresher.
ဘတ်တာကိုပြစ်ဖို့က
25,000.
ဆေးပါးနဲ့ပြစ်မှရမှာနေလို့
Maybe
ဆို
he
ရင်
can
ဟို
then
က
play a
မား
little
တယ်
slower in the
Dispassion
fights
နဲ့
and wait out for the haunt. Because kind of at this stage, the spellcasters, you're getting through this 25, 30, 35, 40-minute mark.
Yeah.
BKBs are going lower. You're getting your later talents.
XM build is so cool, though. He's going E-Blade now. Another item we don't get to see all too often.
E-Blade
So we'll just be able to burst
တကုံ
heroes
50
down.
E-Blade အပြာကြောင်း
for
ပြီး
free.
ရဲ့ကောင်ကတော့
It's
ပျောက်
a
မှာပေါ့
full-on damage build, and he's got perfect itemization.
It's
and
funny, he's had this Lincoln's queued up for so long, he just keeps changing his mind.
He's like, next
damage,
item.
damage,
Next item,
damage,
Bach.
hook shot onto Bach.
BKB ထွက်သွားပြီ
BKB
အေး
though,
အဲရိုမန်သွားတယ်
He
စကီတာ
wants to insta-get crit.
အဲရိုမန်သွားတာမဲ့
Type of Skeeter, a little bit too
Yeah,
thick
well.
to chew on.
Some
The
big
Bay Area,
respect
Glow
on
Eye
that
will
name,
kill like
even
that,
with the 5-second arrow. No haunt,
Heat
of
up.
course, available. But yeah, talked about XM. He's got the 25 talent, more slow burn. He also has the catalyst. It's definitely what you want, and even more cast range. This guy was hard to catch, and now he's even harder to catch, and then an E-Blade to boot.
And there is the Daedalus for Skeeter.
Daedalus
His next
အမေ
item
တော့ဆောင်းရမ်း
definitely
များ
has to
သွားပြီ
be, like,
လီနာကတစ်ချက်
Swift
မိ
Link
တာနဲ့တေးမှာ
or damage, like maybe an AC later could be good. You want some type of attack speed.
Yeah.
Especially against the Shivas that we have talked about.
Or you could go for the old tree volley.
Yeah.
Problem is he's in the thick of things, so not exactly.
It's so difficult to use, and they have like multiple cancels, like against the Basher, a potential vacuum, the punch as well. Can we see a smoke up from Vici? They want to go aggressive here. Bottom lane is pushed in.
ဘယ်ရင်းနဲ့ level 25 ရောက်သွားပြီပေါ့ level တွေကတော့များနေ
Might be the sacrifice.
ကဲပြန်လုပ်လို့ရတယ်
Himself just briefly. Obviously, Vici would love a different kill, but they'll take what they can get. Will be an easy one. Dagon claims him, so it's a full minute actually without crit.
They did pop the haunt though, so there's still like a about 50-second window
Falconလေးသားရထားတယ်
where haunt is not available, and I
အဲ့
definitely
ခတ်မှာ Falcon လေးသားရတာလဲခတ်ဒီကောင်လေးစောင့်ရမ်းအောက်ပလေးနိုင်မှာရ
They don't even want to wait for crit to respawn.
ဒီကလေကိန်းနေရစပတာလီနာကြီးကြည့်ရော
Okay.
အောက်ပလေးနိုင်မှာရ
Tormentor, so they're going to be a bit damaged
ဦး
in this
ရအောင်
pursuit. They will get the
Big
short
Andy
for
Lady,
Jin Q, and yeah, if Falcons can catch up, this would be beautiful for them. TPs look to be relatively successful with the Moonlight Shadow covering them as well.
It's
Likely not to find anything.
It's a good read. Like, look at the map from Vici's perspective. There's been waves at the bottom tier 3 for like a minute without anyone showing their body. So just a full retreat into their base and now kind of, you know, mirroring the movement into their own top jungle. It's a nice defensive macro here by Vici Gaming.
တက်စကားအင်ဒီစ်နဲ့ဆိုတောင်းတန်းမသေးတော့ဒီကောင် attention ဝင်ရှာလို့ရ
A
သွား
little
ပြီ
bit of another save and the abyssal
တက်စီကလှုပ်ဖို့အတွက်အရန်ကိုလွယ်ကူသွားတယ်
Wait, what?
ဟို nullifier တဲ့
took
Oh.
apart his radiance.
okay
Ah, yeah.
ဒီရန်ကိုခွဲလိုက်
These
ပြီ
are some great timings. Now, like, there's Aeon discs.
Ah,
on the
when we
Radiant
got
side,
the
doesn't
Umiya,
work anymore for Marine.
nullifier
The
is
Glimmer and the Force as well for the Spectre. This is a problematic item timing for Falcons to fight into.
Are you going to miss any parts of the Radiance?
Nah, it's fine. Like, at this point, Manta, like, whatever. You're gonna clear out waves quite fast anyway. And you've got all the gold that you need. Like, Radiance has done its job.
And there is so
ဒီ
much
နာအင်ဒီစ်တန်း
damage
သွား
left
ဘူးမ
to
ကောင်း
evasion.
လား
I mean, it is not
အင်ဒီစ်လည်းကောင်းတယ်
particularly bad this game, but
ဒီကောင် tiny breast damage ကိုကြောက်နေ
Right?
တော့
Like,
ဒါ
he's
သူက
looking
သူ့
to
ပုံစံ
potentially still- you can
လုံးဝ
replace-
ဟို
Yeah,
စပတာ
you can replace your
vision နဲ့ပဲ
blade
စော့မှာ
with
ကွာ
the
သိရမလား
axe
ဗတ်တယ်ဆက်ဖြစ်တာနဲ့စပတာစစ်ကသုံးမှာဆိုတော့ tiny ကိုသူကမြင်နေရမှာ
to go big.
မြင်နေရအောင်သူသာရှောင်ဆော့နိုင်
With the 25 talent,
ဟို
it's
မ
quite
သေးလောက်
nice.
ဘူးဆိုပြီးတော့မသွားရလည်းဖြစ်နိုင်
Hero has bought out, so he does not have buyback even close at this point. This is
Yeah.
one of the best buyback heroes in the game.
ဗတ်တယ်ကအသားကြီးကွာ
At the same
စပတာ
time,
ပါ
he's a
နေတဲ့အတွက်ကို
difficult
တားနေရ
hero to kill. So need to see if Falcons can kind of
You
execute
see
it.
Shang
All
Soyo.
that matters for Vici is that they have a good jump and insta-gib. Most likely, snaking is the best kill for them. Good positioning for now, gets the blink off.
A good read from Falcons as Vici just hunting for something as Roche a minute and a half away from knowing when he will spawn. Both sides relatively aware of where each other are. Arcane Rune from Malrine into a Shield Rune, a double whammy.
It's not normal you see an active room picked up at 45-59.
Yeah.
Because no one really has mid control. Neither team has an observer ward that is spotting out the
I
runes.
feel like this is a pretty good opportunity to fight for Falcons. You get essentially double HP on Skeeter. Maybe just showing this rune will dissuade Vici from even trying to defend. They'll pop the fortification, which is a freebie since it's the first tier 2. Looks like it will fall though.
I mean, what's going to be on the menu for both teams is that you're going to talk about the next Roche fight, potentially some buybacks that need to be kept from either side to kind of fight into this Vici draft. We're definitely ahead in this game, right? We're talking about it, 7k net worth. Also, the heroes are quite strong, especially at this stage of the game.
စပတာပြားကြောင့်စပတာပြားကြောင့်ဘာဖြစ်သွားလဲအစကတော့စပတာပြားကြောင့်ဟောင်း
You'd be quite happy
ဖြစ်
with
တာ
this.
ကွာအခုကဟောင်းက
Stay for
ပြန်ပြီး
now,
level
just
စစ်ပြန်
split
ဖြစ်
up a
သွား
bit.
ပြီဆို Hero step ညာပြန်ဖြစ်
So
သွားတာ
Mar has the focus
Hero stepလည်းမဟုတ်
fire,
ဘူး
kills advanced
စ
cooldown.
ပတာပြားကြောင့်ဘာဖြစ်သွား
25 talent. Malrine has the extra Mortimer's Kisses, which who were we casting yesterday could not
ဟို
get
နောက်ဆုံး
to
update ကိုမ
Laurel,
သိ
I think.
Yeah.
He's just stuck on level 24 for so long. He's blocked.
ဟို
Gonna find
Maybe.
Craig gets the hex into the lagoon,
အဲ့မှာလာပြီ
into the vacuum, into 2.
Vacuum.
Only onto 2 support, so
အာ
he'll
ဒီ
lose
ဘက်မှာ
his
ဟိုက
Skeeter.
Aeon
Gonna
Disc နဲ့
focus
ကောင်
on
မိ
Jinq,
သွား
got
ပြီ
the Eon Disc crit already dead. Jinq gonna reset to get the
ဗ
LSA
တ်တယ်ကမရ
connection.
ဘူးသလား
Double kill for Shiro.
ဒီရှင်ကြီးကအရန်တာလုံးအားကြီး
For
ရ
Falcons.
That's huge. And this is one of the problems right now that Falcons are dealing with. How easy is it realistically for them to start the fight? And honestly, I think the answer is it's not easy at all.
Yeah.
တကောင်ရလိုက်ပြီ
They're going to find another kill here.
refresher OG ကွာ Marine က refresher OG နှိပ်ပလိုက်
Surprised they still want to fight here.
Jinq's here.
Nullifier applied now, but still the BKB about to wear off into the stun. Perfect timing into the walrus punch as well. The right clicks from the are enough to claim
ကျောင်းကနေဖြစ်သွားတယ်
as Malrine attempting to get out will
What?
TP successfully.
စပတာရှောင်းကနေဖြစ်သွားတယ် Tiny level 1 2ပြီးတော့တစ်ချက်ရိုက်လိုက်တယ်ပြီးတော့ Modern Kiss 3ခုလောက်ထိ
Nice
သွား
buyback as well from Jinq comes in all the
ဒါပေ
way.
မဲ့ရှိတော့ရှိသေးတယ်ကွာစပတာကိုဖြတ်ဖို့ကမျက်လုံးမပြူ
And
သွား
yeah,
တယ်
like you said, that should give them the Roche kill.
အဲ့နားမှာကြည့်လိုက်
which is very,
အော်
very
ပြန်မ
big
လာ
for
ဘူး
them. You can just see it, like
But that
even
goes
though
with
you see each
Twin
other
Yahari, I
so
don't
nicely,
know.
you get a beautiful vacuum from Bach to bring them all back in. And then Shiro's haunt. And Xingqiu is playing kind of like a madman, but he's always like separating the team during the haunt, also jumping on the back line.
I feel like with these, we're kind of seeing that the illusions that come out from Falcons are not particularly strong. We have to hold that thought. Roche was being underway as crit, looking for a potential
ဝင်သွားပြီ AJ ရသွားတယ်
Allah collapse, get a nice shackle from his teammate, but Namar.
Tiny မရှိပဲချနေရနော်
Second life, and Crit
Tiny
might
မရှိ
be
ပဲ
able to
ချနေရ
sacrifice
သေးပြီ
himself. As you can see, the Spectre just going on top of Amar. Gonna get stunned for the time being, but Amar trying to get away, getting really low. Gonna apply some pressure now to Marine instead. The Shadow Step not gonna fully connect. Somehow Amar still alive, gets hexed though, as Bach trying to finish the job. He's gonna get out on the Windrunner. Force Staff to the north with a Blink Dagger. And then he can TP after the fact. We'll go for it as XM not gonna find him in time.
Could not quite sniff him out.
Getting away with murder here.
They stole the Aegis, and then
AJ
Shiro
Yawara
also used a
Tanwari.
refresher shot to try and kill Amar. Even that didn't happen. So Falcons very nice here, kind of holding on to the game in a very good manner. But you can tell that they need some crazy executions to deal with these heroes. They have multiple ways to deal with, Marine in this late game, even though he does have a refresher. Yeah, he's got AoE surge now on Bach as well. And that was mobility and like surging people up in the late game is incredibly nice.
So Falcons have 2 Roche banners right now. That was the third Roche. Where's the refresher shot? Was that you?
It was used by Shiro in the fight.
Okay.
There's either a lot going on or you're not listening very well.
Both.
Okay, keep that up.
Octarine core from XM now.
ဒီနာတော်တော်ဆုံးသွားပြီ Octarine core တွေရော
complete.
ပြာချောင်းလဲဝါလိုက်ပြီလောကဆရာကြီးပဲ
The one we never
နောက်ဆုံး
get to
ဓာတ်ကာဟိုဟာပါလဲ
That's
Arcane Blink
only
Arcane
item.
Blink ပဲလို့တော့ဒီထက် Arcane Blink နဲ့ဟိုဟာတော့ကောင်းပါနော် Stun Blink Overwhelming Blink ပိုကောင်းနည်းမာဝါ
because he's going ham in these fights.
ပြင် Travel 2
quite well together.
Travel 2ဆင့်လို့ရလီနာဓာတ်စီကကောင်းဖို့ကြာလို့ရ
a nice late game
ဘယ်အညာလိုက်လို့ရ
overall for both sides.
Oh yeah, also Bach, he's holding on to the greedy enchantment, but soon you should kind of skip it. I think Refresher is the item here for the Darkseer. He's already been owning, and then you get double vacuum, double wall.
He's top net worth in the game. That's insane. Amar,
Amar
links in immediately BKBs. He regrets his decision, it seems, as the haunt comes out.
Hex on the
Get
clock.
the Hex into the Laguna. That is good by
Maybe.
Crit. They get the dagger now onto Amar as well. Getting slow to a crawl, attempting to get out. Gets Abyssal bladed into the LSA. Windrun buys him a little bit of time, but the magic damage is too much.
အောင်းဝင်လောက်တာ
Too
တော့
dead for Falcons. I'm not sure what the play was there, but they get punished hard.
Yeah, I don't know either. And that was the strat. You have a block of cheese on Shiro. So he's going to be quite happy about that. But it's just for Falcons, it is very difficult for them. First of all, their ghost push and their map push on the map is worse. They don't have a real jump.
They get the break
Oh,
into the avalanche.
break die, break die.
Block of cheese.
Block of cheese.
He's going to be alive for now. Getting really low, gets brought back in by the Tusk. The arrow's going to connect on the Wyvern in the meantime. The vacuum to follow. Malrine taking some damage here. Gets the cookie. Now to get the connection though because of the BKB from Bach. Skeeter on the run, gets stuck inside the shards. As the double buyback
Oh,
from
yeah, me why?
Falcons, they need to get something out of this. Get the shackle now. They get the kill on the top net worth in the game in Bach. 100 seconds does have buyback.
အဲဘိုင်ဘက်တွေအများကြီးလောက်လိုက်ရမတန်ဘူးဘိုင်ဘက်3កောင်တော့လောက်လိုက်ရ
Looks like they could nearly even take down Shiro, but with the block of cheese, he barely got bailed out there. But very expensive. Double support buyback and Amar as well. And sure, the one on Amar matters, but being able to just... Because the supports die very easily. And here, block of cheese.
ကိစ္စ
very
3ဝင်မ
nice.
ရလိုက်ရင်သိမှာနော်
Probably
ဒါ
one of
တော့
the only
သိ
times
ကန်
I've
နီး
ever
လေး
seen this item have any useful impact.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just so much garbage for them to deal with, right? Like XM he's just plowing out spells left, right, and center because there's a Darkseer vacuum wall going off. There's a Haunt Illusions that are flying around, snowball, random arrows.
Yeah, if you're Vici, you're still pretty happy.
That's the skin time pad. That's the skin. The game time pad is Sabata sit down. Hey, that's the win lo yani as well. It's Sabata down.
That's right.
Same with Y too. Like he's closing
now
in on 25 talent.
Yeah, wa samudai be na ma le so myin ne ya. Era diga pyadana.
20 talent for the Starstorm, 25 talent for the multi-shot.
So close. Yeah, that's got to be one of the best 25 talents in the game. I feel like it is
definitely
so annoying to deal with.
Again, di chain ma thi la.
I'm surprised that
Winter Wyvern no Cloud White do a sa BKB ထဲတင်
Usually you take that because
ဟောတော့ဗတ်တယ်ဖြစ်ပြီးသွားနေ
20% but it's only
ဘာသာစစ်ဝင်လာမယ်ကွာအဲ့ချိန်မှာ BKB တွေကြီးပြီးတော့ခွဲထုတ်လိုက်လို့ရှိရင်ဘယ်ကွန်ဆွဲလို့မရအောင်သူတို့ BKB ကြာသွားတဲ့အချိန်မှာဘာသာစစ်ကကုန်သွားပြီကွာ vision ပျောက်သွားမှာ
happens but it's rare. I don't think it's that
hitting
often.
1 and 2. I've done that several times.
Yeah, but you're also not a pro player.
I understand that. But they play a lot more than me, so they make more mistakes, technically.
I don't know if
You
that's
like that
how it
logic?
works. I don't know if that's how that checks
That's
out.
technically true. My former co-caster would agree with that.
Oh, yeah. Maybe there's a
true,
reason
that's
he's
kinda
not here. Shout out to Cinnamon.
Or TK lead for Vici. And they're going to try to pounce here. Still a ways away for Roche. Which means this is likely to become a 60-minute barn burner, a real doozy, as they say, for those neutrals.
You could play on some buybacks like we talked about earlier. For Falcons, of course, that would help you. We did see a lot of their damage, right, onto the Spectre, but the only way to make that happen is that he has to be broken out of a Silver Edge, which means you have to... It's kind of all on Skeeter. I think you have to blink in, Avalanche, then Silver Edge hit the Spectre, and pray to God that all these follow-up spells are coming through. The hook shot, the kisses.
Feels like all the stars need to align to be able to do just that.
That's
အပေါ်အောက်ကြီးတိုင်းနေ
Avatos, they find the touch, but the
ဒါစကောင်းအရင်တွေ့ပြီးတော့
now onto
နောက်မှ
Tiny.
ADR ကရှော့တော့
The BKB gets the focus
Ah,
fired.
Tabata.
Kill off Shiro. He's taking a ton of damage here, trying to walk it off. Gets the Abyssal Blade. Is Axel trying to help him out?
snowball
Able to jaunt though. As they get the connection now onto Amar.
ADR နိုးပိုင်ပဲ
2 minutes on
သွားပြီလားမ
the
သိ
deck.
ဘူးငါတို့ရဲ့တူးစီက
Skeeter just getting played around with Bach.
တူးစီကသွားပြီလား
Actually, as he's going to get gone on. Shadow Step applied, the Dagon onto crit, LSA not going to hit. As a Mortimer's Kiss is trying to help out Skeeter a little bit, but Bach's just going to run away. Surge is too powerful for this, and now they're going to turn this around onto the Wyvern instead. Gets the full HP, but
Winter
the damage
လည်း
coming
ပိုင်
out
ပဲ
from
မရှိဘူး
Axon is way too
သွားပြီ
much.
လား
Skeeter, no more BKB to work with, and they have stuns for days.
တိုင်းနီလည်းပိုင်ပဲမရှိဘူးဟေးတိုင်းနီကပတ်စံမရှိတာကွာပိုင်ပဲရှိတယ်ပတ်စံမရှိတာ
That
Don't
is
be.
just, it's two diebacks and a Tiny who doesn't even have
ကျုံး
it.
ပြီ
Yeah, they are dealing with a lot of trouble here. Like also Amar, he can't really kill Shiro. First of all, he still has the block of cheese barrier that's constantly like just on him, helping him. You don't have an MKB against the butterfly either. And without Shiro being broken, you can tell that this is a game where you are pressured. You don't usually see a play like that from Amar.
Very true. Shiro going to finish off that first set of barracks as XM heads to the south to get a second. And they have so much time to deal with. I mean, in theory, this should be mega creeps.
Marine doesn't even have any ults to play with. This is absolutely megas or even tier 4 pressure. So play it nice for
တူး
now.
စီကတော့သွားပါပြီ
Shiro
အ
completely
မြအမြအမြ
solid now, can eat the Ags. We'll see what he gets after the fact. They probably play disciplined. Now let's see how fast they can actually
တူး
take
စီ
this,
ကအမြခေါ်
'cause
လိုက်ရ
I think quite
can take the tier 4s as well.
Okay, Marine.
We're going to blade onto Malrine, able to get out. Damage done though. We'll have to wait this out as his barracks evaporate. So mega creeps for Vici, and now the pressure for the tier 4s.
I mean,
Of course, they don't know that Tiny doesn't have buyback.
Yeah.
It's money related.
They don't push slowly. They've got the Wolf as well from Bach to, give them all the damage aura.
And the final tier 4 about to go down.
X-Back.
Bach with the last vacuum of the game. In all likelihood, they burst down Malrine with the Dagon. He buys back. Mortimer's Kisses. Ancient already exposed as they try to wait out these Mortimer's Kisses. As the Tiny will be back in 5 seconds, but that Ancient is about to explode as XM finishes the job, and Vici take game
တင်ပါလေဒါတော့ VG မို့လို့ VG မို့လို့58မိနစ်လောက်ကြာသွားတာ ဒီလိုပစ်အရဆိုရင်
The first pick Lina
နိုင်နေ
is
တင်တာကြာ
quite annoying for them to deal with. Then they kind of do the reverse Uno. It's like, haha, it's going mid. We still get the Spectre. Bach also with a crazy game on the Darkseer. And I
တူး
think
စီ
with
ကတော့
all
မွာ
things
ပါ
considered,
ပြီ
I do feel that Falcons held on quite well to the game. but then you end up with like this off-lane Wind Ranger. It's not an easy mid.
Rain teamကောင်းတဲ့ hero တွေမှာစနက်ပါတ
I think this time around Falcons were just out-strategized.
And Vici played so well this game. Great to see.
အဲ့မကောင်းတာလို့တော့ပြောလို့တော့မရဘူးဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲဒီပွဲလဲသူ damage တော်တော်ထွက်တယ်
Bestial performance from him.
သူ level 6 3နားတဲ့အချိန်မှာ arrow နဲ့ဖြတ်ခံရမဟုတ်ရင်လည်း task လာဖြတ်နေတာပါတယ်ပြီးတော့
his spell usage was crazy.
အေးပေါ့နော်
He had a lot of assists, 25 assists to his name. And early on though, Falcons did have a little bit of a lead as we see here in these early engagements.
တိုတယ် overall ဟိုဟာ hero ကနည်းနည်းကွာတယ်အဲ့ဒါကြောင့်
They didn't execute.
အဲ့မှာလေအဲ့လိုမျိုး Death Seer ကြီးက free ဖြစ်နေတာအရင် free ဖြစ်နေ Death Seer
While the game is supposed to be difficult, Spectre, Manta, Radiant Illusions, Lina is flying around, Darkseer shells, there's a Moonlight Shadow. I do think it is difficult, but they're generally the team, they find some of those moves, because this time around, it was honestly kind of all Vici from like minute 25 and onwards. So I want to see how Falcons kind of, you know, swing it around for game 2.
The crowd is quite pumped up here as Vici take game number 1.
WR pick ကဟုတ်တယ် WR pick ကိုဟိုဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲ WR offlane လုံးလိုက်တဲ့ idea ပဲ idea စေးထိုးတာ
here on standby to tell us exactly why it happened the way it did, because we kind of thought the tiny overall last pick was cool, but then the Spectre and the Darkseer said, you already mentioned it during the draft, that these two were going to be very scary for Vici Gaming.
I mean, there's a reason for why I'm a big fan of this combo. I think it's just amazingly good together. It's incredibly hard to fight against it. I think I mean, not only did they play an amazing game, I think the draft made a lot of sense. The heroes, like the hero combinations together, there's just a lot of synergy. It's so much chaos. It's so much chaos. I don't know.
Much chaos.
To me, I see both these heroes, I'm like, I mean, it's like unless you're just getting completely stomped, I would feel like you're just on your way to winning the game. But I'm completely biased toward this combo.
And we saw some great itemization coming out from them. This is not what we have usually seen.
KO ပါလေးကဲလို့နော် KO ပါလေးကဲလို့တိတ်အထိမနာပါဒွန်းနဲ့တင်းပါတော့ရှိတယ်ဒွန်းကဘန်းကန်တာရတာဒွန်းကဘန်းကန်လိုက်ပဲကုံကြီးပြုတ်သွားတယ်လို့ပါလို့တော့နော်မဖြစ်နိုင်ပါဘူးဒီကောင်လေးတေးချာချာပင့်ရင်ဖြစ်เสียအကြောင်းမရှိဘူး idea အစမ်းကြီးတွေမလုပ်ရင်ပေါ့ Hmm.
We haven't talked about Jinkyu. I think he was also, he had a masterclass performance in the previous game, making sure that he's getting the blinks, he's getting the saves once they initiate on, and also the Yule Scepter to either save himself, later into Wind Waker, Aeon Disc, making sure that he doesn't die. Like Jinkyu, he's been known to be like relatively greedy as a player where he wants to scale, but definitely toned it down in the previous series.
And I have to tell you, like,
Linaတော့banလိုက်ပြီ
it means something. It's like, because you could ban Lina third, like second or
ဆော
third.
ဆောကဒီကောင်းနေ Lina ကိုအမှတ်မားလိုက်လို့
The
သိလား
first ban
Lina
is
carry
usually
လို့လို့
the-
ဘာလို့
yeah,
လို့နဲ့
okay.
အဲ့လိုမျိုး
I don't want to see this again.
Yep.
Okay, good job, guys. You're not getting it again. You
Lina
know,
ကိုအစော
no
ကြီး
Lina.
ပစ်ပြီး
This
တော့
is a
အဲ့လို
let's
စပတာ
play
ပြန်
an
ဝင်လိုက်တာ
honest Dota game
ဖြစ်တယ်လေ
without Lina in it.
And the Snapfire also gets banned out, so we'll not see Melreen on that one this time round. It does mean that a couple of heroes are left in the pool. Most notable is probably the Treant Protector.
Yes.
Lone Druid gets ignored so far as well. We did see that ignored in the previous game as well, so
And
similar.
interestingly enough, they actually don't go for the Treant Protector that you mentioned, which is, I believe, like earlier in the tournament, I'm pretty certain Falcons had first pick Treant over Clock and got the Clock later in the draft. So now they're switching it up. It could be Vici specific, or it could just be because they're like heroes priority
Yeah,
have changed. Like,
Game
I don't know if you found one of
Game
these
2 လည်းဒီ
drafts,
ကောင်းနေ
you can-
draft လေး show ပြီးတော့
Legion, they all actually had the both.
အေးဟိုပါ
but,
လေးပဲတင်းရင်ကောင်း
Treant
ပါ
first, right?
Treant
Yes, against Boom Boys as well, they managed to pick
ဘာလို့
it up
ဟိုဟာတွေ
when
မ
the
ပစ်တော့
clock was
ဘူး
available.
ဝင်
So
လို့ပါ
giving the priority to Clockwork.
ဘာလို့ကလောက်ဝိုက်တော့
Gotta
ဝင်
say,
ရှိတယ်လေ
can't really blame them considering the Clockwork performances that we have
Owen,
seen
the
from
Laudi-
Crit, where he was just completely
Oh,
dominating
Fuma,
the play
Nia
that he did in
Yu
the
Nia
previous
Hao,
ones,
Mapinja.
and the Aegis on top of that, but also the Vision. This hero is just very annoying. It has the toolkit to completely dismantle your Vision game. Like, we've seen teams utilizing Rocket. Like, this is a, you know, these are professional e-gamers, so there's going to be a lot of different ways that they're utilizing the hero, where they are scouting the triangle with the rocket, making sure that if they see the camps are farmed, they immediately know where the carry is, and this is where they're going to be making the smoke move, maybe Moonlight Shadow move, but just making sure that they have the information getting from that Clockwork.
I have to answer yes to that request. I was just reading the sign. My answer is yes, my pleasure. But back to the draft. Like I'm trying to try to understand like why would Falcons switch priority, and because I feel like Treant is just a better hero. I mean, it's hard to compare Treant and Clock, but I think the stats would speak in that favor too. For some reason, I'm just not sure this is like the best trade, but my explanation could be that they're trying to keep the snaking hero open, because obviously we've seen Crit play the Clockwork. Snaking can also play it. A lot of teams are running Clock position 5 also. So perhaps, you know, an Undying, because Undying is like being completely forgotten
Yep.
in this draft, like compared to the previous one, and it's been one of the most successful hero of the playoffs. Again, we go back to Yandex. This is the team that is setting the meta at this point, and they value
Piano
this hero
Balu,
super
Tao
high.
Bozoe.
So
အန်တိုင်း
very
လို့ပါလဲ
pickable
မို
for
က်
Falcons and not really pickable
အန်တိုင်း
anymore
ဆော
for
င်း
Vici.
ကောင်း
I
ရန်
think
တက်ဆိုရင်အန်
Rainbow
တိုင်း
is
ဆောင်း
also
ကြို
going
က်
to be highly contested because it was banned in the previous series.
A
and I'm
Treant
around
လို့ပါ
February
တော့
for
အဲ့
this
လို
one.
အတက်စီ
I think
ဆောင်း
this
နေ
is
တယ်
the hero. I
Hey,
feel
man.
like this hero is. A lot of teams realize that
Don't
it's
video
super
manai.
good, but I would also give it extra like 5, maybe even
Don't do
10% to be picked up,
Ooh.
because the hero just feels very. It has every single tool. It scales so well. Super
GG,
strong
yeah,
blender,
don't do
percentage-based damage, like AOE control and the team fight, plus the save. And this is a lane that you literally cannot win. Like, if this is
No.
going to be the lane, like, you need to start thinking about how you're going to be approaching this with the pooling, potentially getting something that can, you know, maybe sacrifice itself a little bit more in the laning stage, because this is just a nasty lane.
Listen, I think this is probably the worst lane in Dota. Like literally, if I had to choose like the two best, I was gonna say stupidest, the two most
Both
stupid. I mean, it's like the two
OP, broken,
unbeatable,
yeah,
OP, broken,
Imba, anything.
Imba, whatever you want. Like laners, it's Lone Druid and Treant.
Dawnbreaker
And then you
Dawnbreaker
add
ဆို
both
ရ
of
င်
them.
ဒါဝဲ
I mean,
လို့
Amara
ရော
has decided to pick the Dawnbreaker against that lane. I
That well,
have to say
Dawnbreaker.
that
Oh.
I'm a little bit surprised. I hope that he has like a plan, and this is something that
က
they.
လောဝို
I
က်
mean,
ဖိုး
obviously,
တော့
you
မ
know,
လုပ်
he's
လောက်ဘူး
played
ဒီကောင်နေ
versus
ကလောဝိုက်
Treant and
fight ကို
Lone
မှ
Druid a billion times over
ကို
the
ဝင်
last
လည်း
few
မိုက်
weeks,
ကိုဝင်
'cause
Dawnbreaker
everybody's picking these heroes, and I'm sure that they've practiced.
Win
So
Dawnbreaker
we'll see
မိုက်ဘူး
what
က
kind of plan they come up with.
I think
The
you
reason
gonna
why
talk.
I'm a little bit worried is because there's no
Dawnbreaker.
it's not really the jungle fallback plan, which is
Yeah,
what
well,
a lot
low.
of offlaners this tournament have mentioned. It's like, yeah, sure, I'm laning versus Treant, I'm laning versus
ဆောင်းလိမ့်
SF
တာ
versus
ပါ
Lone
အဲ့ဒီ
Druid.
ညာ
I don't even have the mindset of going
အခက်တာ
straight lane.
လုံး
I'm not
လို့
even showing up.
ဝင်လုံးဖို့က
I'm getting a couple levels here and there, and then
အော်
I'm jungling.
remaster ဖြစ်တယ်
So, but you you know, I think they're taking another
Save
approach
that
here,
bit.
because I don't think Dawnbreaker jungles efficiently. He does, but only when he gets maybe level 3, 4,
3,
5.
5, yes.
He does have to enter the lane for at least 5-6 waves, which honestly might be hard against both these heroes. So we'll have to see.
Lone Druid is sitting at just a 56% win rate though. Even though
Uzi
it
Villa.
is so highly, it has been so
BG
highly
da
contested.
Uzi
Is
ရိုက်သွား
it
လို့
just
ကတော့
because
တ
the
ကယ်
only people that have let it through are the teams that think they can beat it? and
အားလုံး
then
ထင်ကြမှာ
have
ပဲ
a
လုတ်
plan
ပွဲကြီး
specifically catered towards beating that?
Exactly that.
Yes.
လုံးဝမဖြစ်နိုင်ဘူး
Exactly
ဒီလက်ဒီ
that.
လက်
I
နဲ့
don't know,
ဒူးစီ
I'm
ရိုက်
just
ဖို့
looking at Vichi's draft. I'm worried if I'm Falcons. Like, these are nasty
Combos, yeah, these are very strong lanes. This is the like 1-2 combo that is very easily played. Even though we've seen
Beastmaster
like, Dawnbreaker being very
keeper.
efficient against
Yeah,
the
Tibaga.
Beastmaster in a sense where you have the counter initiation.
မခန့်တာနော်
Their damage between the
Ringmaster
supports
ထုတ်ထားတာကို
it
Beast
really
ထက်
isn't
တကယ်မခန့်တာ
in a sense where these two
ပဲ
supports
ကို
can like easily move. So I want to see
မ
something
ခန့်မခန့်
for
လုပ်နေတယ်
XM, even though this
အကွက်ကတော့
Beastmaster
ထိုး
could
တတ်တဲ့
still
အကွက်
go to
ကွာ
the mid
ကီ
lane,
ပါ
I feel
နဲ့
like, there's
ကီပါ
also a
healing တွေ
possibility
နော်
because
3
you're
ရ
still
healing
going
တွေ
for
ပါ
the
မယ်
same item
Beast
build, you are still getting the
လုံး
health
သူလုံးဝ
bonus
အားလေး
as
ထိုးတတ်မယ်
overload.
ဆိုတဲ့အကွက်ကြီး
This is such a cool draft by Vici. Like, I think it's amazing. Like, the amount of synergy between these heroes. Like, also, at some point when they're going to start grouping up, like with the Coddle, Locket, the heals, you know, the Helm of Dom 2, the Lone Druid. I think I'd like to see like a little bit of a different build on Lone Druid. I don't know if we're going to see it. Because obviously the classic is like Mjolnir into Ags, sure. But I think when you play versus heroes like Coddle and Beast, like that lane, if executed properly, we've seen it by BB, like it doesn't go wrong. Like the Beast will get his timings because he gets so accelerated by Coddle, both in the lane and in the early game with the stacks and whatnot. There's a player, you know, Ghost. He's probably one of the best launchers in the world. He has a different build. He always goes for diffusal early, and he plays actually very active. He just abuses. He plays the hero from minute 0, basically. He doesn't wait minute 20 when, you know, he can only play with the bear. And I think this would be the game for it, because Falcon's approach to their lineup is they're gonna up the
Roy
pace
Yama
up
ban
top.
no?
Absolutely.
Sakira Roy
This
Yama
lineup,
kaya uda
I
clean
agree.
ban.
I would love to maybe see something different, but this is the lineup that can just like speed things up, play for the objectives, and I would love to see XM on a hero that can play tempo. I would be okay with something like a Storm Spirit. They don't have
Oh,
that.
banned.
It's banned. Okay, never mind. Just
Roy
ban
Yama,
it. Because
please.
you-
Teke
even
na
also
no,
the
Roy
reason why I
Yama
like Storm
kaon.
Spirit, not because of the
Di
matchup,
time ma
but because
Roy
they
Yama
don't
pe
have that
asyan
much
kaon
control. I would love to see in this particular matchup, he could also be
Toba
picking
mala
up
be.
Guardian Greaves,
Yeah.
which would give them
Yes.
quite a lot of
Oh,
tempo.
VG
as well.
ama
It would be
ban
amazing.
game one wala
Like,
Roy
right now,
Yama ban
Falcons
wa
ain't
wa.
going to not losing to the Vici draft, because I think it comes down to that. This draft is so powerful, is through Malrine. Like, Ember needs to pop off. He needs to play with the supports. He's gonna have Dawnbreaker's ulti to help him out. So you have to think of this Ember Spirit running around the map with Ringmaster and Clock. Falcons, they excel at doing that. Like, they move at the right places at the right time.
Yeah,
they
no,
do it
over.
properly.
Di
They
pwe
play
ala.
right
Di
ops,
pwe
they
oh
DUI
Roy Yama ban wa
areas.
bi.
So
GG.
they will bring a lot of pressure. They have a Mars
GG.
out also, so that combo is very
Hey,
deadly.
I'm
Like,
here.
these 3 heroes, wherever they go, they will be able to assert dominance in the early game anyway. So if XM can slow down Malorine's game by just shutting him down on the lane, making him maybe starve a little bit in XP and gold, this is how they will see their lineup come together. Because I do believe that once Vici's gaming lineup come together and they hit their timings, they're unstoppable.
How are XM signatures looking with
ဒီ
the
ပွဲ
Viper and the
ပေးရ
Sniper?
တော့
I
VG
think
က
it's
ထိုးတတ်မှာ
decent.
အာလီ
They're
ပိုင်း
not the
ပွဲ
best
ပြီး
for
ဘာ
their
ညာ
lineup
ဆိုလို့
in
ရှိ
a
ရင်
sense, but I think shutting down
Kia
this
and
Ember to
Awa.
the point where he has no game, in this game in particular, I think it's worth it. I think
အဲ့လိုမျိုးထိုးတက်ဖို့က
might pay off, even though your
လိန်နေ
five
နေ
man,
အဆင်
you
ပြေမှ
know,
ရမှာ
equilibrium is suboptimal.
ပဲ
It
ကွန်
is
ကလိန်နေ
overall
လိုက်
last
ဖိ
pick, of
လို့ရ
course,
တ
for
ယ်
VG Gaming, so if they wanted to put that Beastmaster still mid, they can, depending on what's coming with the last pick coming out from Falcons, where we are looking for a hero for Skeeter.
I wonder how the lane goes, because honestly, Beast Coddle is such a good combo. Do you really want to break that combo? Maybe only if Beast really beats Ember mid big time, but I'm not sure it's the case anymore.
Can they put Coddle mid? If they really wanted to?
They could, but it's not great against Ember in my opinion. I feel like mid players will select Ember when they see Coddle mid often.
Gyro
comes
that.
out.
They want to have some AoE. They know that there's going to be quite a lot of extra units with the Beastmaster, with that Lone Druid Bear, like maybe Aghanim Scepter later on for Keeper of the Light. So I think this is a very good pickup. We saw Spirit having quite a lot of success, even though Hero hasn't been
Gyro
picked up
ကတကယ်
I believe
လို့
4 or 5 times so
တွက်
far.
ကြည့်လိုက်ရင်တော့
It could
Gyro
be
pick
maybe
a
a
call.
reason to switch the lanes, but
Although,
again, I
Lone
feel like
Druid
they
ကို
shouldn't something
ထိုင်
like
ပြစ်
I
နေ
have
ုံ
a
နဲ့
feeling
ကျန်တဲ့
they
ကောင်
should
တွေ
just
မောက်မှာ
commit
ကွာ
to this
အဲ့
beast
သူ
coming in
flash scan လို့
and
နဲ့ဆို
just
တော့
believe that that lane if
အဲ့
executed
တိုင်း
properly
ရ
will
သွား
do
ရင်တော့မ
fine
ဆိုး
against
ပစ်က
anything in.
နောက်ဆုံးသူတို့
And anyway,
ထည့်
this
စ
is
ရာ
more
ဒီ
about
မတာ
once
အပြင်က
beast gets
ကောင်ပဲ
enough levels
ဖြစ်
and
နေ
they
တာ
have
ပေါ့နော်
stacked. Like typically you're not going to be
မ
using
တာတွေက
it
ကောင်တွေအကုန်ဘန်းကန်တာ
on the gyro lane because it
ဆို
just
တော့
dies to flag. You're going to be using to stack.
အဲ့ထဲမှာ
And-
gyro က
and
မ
you-
ဆိုးပါဘူး
And this is when you
ဖွာပစ်
accelerate.
ဖွာပစ်
And again, it's going to come down to the XM hero. Like, is Marine able to go to the beast triangle, contest the stacks, or is he just too shut down that he can't, and XM is protecting that instead? So
I do think it's very
ဂိုင်ယို
cool
ကောင်
that
တာ
we heard
TV
XM
တဲ့
talk,
ဂိုင်ယိုနဲ့
and,
TV ဆိုရင်တော့
there
TV
is a
ပို
Slark
ပို
coming
ကျန်း
out, so
လာ
there
တယ်
it's a mid Slark.
It's a mid Slark.
အာရဆလတ်
This is not
မစ်ဆလတ်
Falcon's
Okay.
offlane Slark.
တော့ဘာတွေတော့
It's
လို့
probably
ဘယ်လို
gonna be
ဘာဘက်မှန်းတော့မသိတော့ဘူးမစ်ကဆလတ်
I
ကြီး
mean,
ဟာ
if it destroys Ember mid,
It's
which I
like a-
hope it does, like this is exactly what they need. They
ကျန်း
need
လို့လား
to shut down the Ember, make sure that the Laundry comes online, the Beast comes online, play off these timings. It's gonna give them map also. Like Slark's gonna, because if they get ahead, like playing from behind against Slark is miserable.
Yes, and this is a lot of things that they can buff up the Slark with. This is living armor. A lot of the times, this hero like really
Yeah,
wants to push the limits. You
GG
have to
ဘာ
keep
လုပ်
up
နေ
the light like one.
ဖိုးတက်မယ်
one
ဆိုရင်
heal
လည်းဟုတ်
could
ပြီ
make
ဆလတ်က
the whole fight
မင်းမှာ
in
အဲ့
his
လို
favor. Hold the locket, give him
ဘယ်နေရာ
HP,
နေ
give
ဒီ
him
ကောင်
mana. I don't know. I'm kind of digging this Slark pick.
သုံးဝင်ပါ
I don't know if it works.
အမ်ဘာနဲ့1-1ထိန်းပြီးအမ်ဘာကိုမို့အောင်တော့လုပ်လို့ရမယ်
To
ကွာ
be honest, 'cause I
ရ
haven't
ကောင်းရ
seen
မယ်
it,
ပေါ့နော်
but if it does, it's
အပြီး
genius.
ရောဘာလို့လို့ရ
So I kinda
အဲ့ဆ
hope
လ
it
က်က
does.
ဒါတည်းမှာ
theory, it
ပုံ
should
နေမှာ
work.
နော်
It should have a good laning stage. Like
နောက်
we've
ပိုင်း
seen
ကြမှာသာ
some of
သူ့ရဲ့
these
dash
Ember
shot တွေပါ
strikers,
ပျောက်
this
တာ
is kind of
တို့
the
ပါလို့
hero
လုပ်
of
လို့
the
ရတာ
tournament. We've
ထား
seen
တော့ဒါပေ
some
မဲ့မီ
great
ဟီရိုကြီးတစ်ကောင်
performances
နေ
from
နဲ့
Ember
က
from the mid lane. People
တန်
start
လို့
shutting
လား
down, especially with Vipers, where he's really not
တ
getting
မျိုး
much
ကြီးပဲ
of his
PG
buying
နောက်
to
ဆုံးပိတ်
speed.
ကြီးอ่ะ
And you are playing against one of the best guys, if not the best guy in the world when it comes down to adaptation, like what he wants to do from the lane, how Malrine's going to approach it. This is the guy that was playing Primal Beast in like these unfavorable matchups, kind of the master of dragging the creep waves and finding any spot on the map where he can farm. So I want to see what his approach is going to be.
I would imagine also that if his lane is that important to the success of this game for them, he might get some help coming out from the Ringmaster and the Clockwork rotating from
Yeah,
staking it.
definitely at some point they should be helping him.
အန်
But
တာ
again,
အိုဗာတဲ့
against
ဘာမှမသိတော့
at
ဘူး
night
အန်တာ
time,
အိုဗာ
after
ဘာ
5
လို့မှမ
minutes,
သိ
it's
ဘူး
incredibly hard because he has just full control and full vision of what's happening. He can deward by himself and whatnot. I also just want to mention quickly, like Slark
အဲ့လို
combo,
ထိုးတက်တဲ့
amazing
ပစ်
combo
တွေက
with the chakra on the bounces.
အန်တာ
especially
တော့
when
မြ
you
င်
have
ရ
the
တယ်
Aghanims. You basically
ဒါ
have
ပေမဲ့အဲ့လို
bounce
မျိုး
off
ပစ်ထားတာ
Pokemon
VG
non-stop.
ဖြစ်နေ
It's a nasty combo. We don't get to see it often, but it's very cool.
Well, a very cool game
Yeah,
coming
ကိုပြောချင်တာ
your
သ
way
ဘော
with
ပေါက်
game number 2 of this quarterfinals. Can Falcons
ပုံမှန်
force
ဆိုရင်တော့
out
အဲ့
game
ဒီပွဲက
3?
အန်
Who's
တာ
finding out with Sunsfennec?
အန်တာရိုက်လို့ရတာ VG ပစ်ထားတော့ယုံရမှာလားမယုံပါဘူးလားအဲ့ဒါ
We
ရှိ
have game number 2 about to begin, and I do have to ask, Lone Druid has looked quite stinky the last few days.
That's true.
How many times has Vici even picked it in this tournament? Do you know?
I will find that out for you because, Mr. Shannon Larkin, we've got the Lenovo Legion. So, Dota above, Mr. Vici Gaming, they haven't played Lone Druid a single time in this tournament.
Okay, well, that's a better record than most.
But-
ကြောင်ညာဝင်တာကြောင်ညာဝင်
He
laptop
played it
ကြောင်
2
ညာ
months
ဝင်
ago. He went 7-0 and 10, and they still lost.
Okay,
So that's not good news.
All right, let's get into the game as we have another hero that we definitely want to talk about. Stop looking at me. Take me off camera immediately. Let's get into the game because the game has certainly started at this point. Certainly not paused.
Definitely not.
And we're in the game. Congratulations, everybody. We made it. Game 2, Vici up 1-0 in this best of 3 of the playoffs here at EWC. Slark has been picked as a mid laner. I am having flashbacks, PTSD.
Oh, DC,
to
blah, blah.
TI6 finals where Weehaw picked it. He refuses to acknowledge they in fact picked Slark mid against Wings Gaming, who had which player? Faith Beyond. And they destroyed us because why? They picked us Slark. We picked us Slark mid. Disgusting.
How did you allow this to happen?
I think they just lost hope at that point.
It was like, it's Jover, let's RNG the last week. But the thing is, first of all, XM, I love this. I've
Okay,
been
ဒီ
saying
ပွဲ
this
ဘာလို့
like
မှမ
8
မသိတော့
billion times this tournament. He is
ဒီတိုင်းပဲ
the
ထိုင်ကြည့်လိုက်တာ
anti-mid
ကောင်းပါလေ
laner. He's the
ဒီလို
FU
ပွဲ
mid
က
player. You
ဘာ
give
မ
me
ဆို
a
ဖြစ်သွား
match,
နိုင်တယ်
he puts up both his middle fingers. He's like, screw you. I go mid Slark against Ember. This is not the first time he's done this. They did this 2 months ago against Aurora. Mikoto played Ember. Same matchup. Last pick Slark into the Ember. He destroyed that game. Had like a 12-minute defusal. You do pretty well in the lane. You can skill the Saltwater Shiv to steal region. You can kind of, deal well with the early spam. You have better damage. You have higher armor.
restoration
It's kind of
steal
chilling. It is very strange.
Regen
The
steal.
tricor of Lone Druid, Beast Slark. It's going to be a lot of map play later on. So XM, while he's going to have a good lane, I think he's got a lot of weight on the shoulders.
All right, let's
Regen
see how much
steal.
regen's getting out of this. This is level 1.
Amber region မရှိတော့ဘူး select က region 7 ဖြစ်နေ
very strong. I mean,
မိုက်တော့မိုက်တယ်
I
ကွာ
did see a clip early on
မြင့်မှာ
when
ဆိုတော့အာရုံတော့တော်တော်နောက်မလား
where this
နော်
was absurd.
Yeah, we're
And
Thompson.
0 တဲ့
they nerfed the shit out of it since then, of course, and then we just don't see Slark anymore. So I'm curious to see how this works in the game, because when I would think of this ability, isn't it just better against high HP, high regen targets like a Centaur type?
No,
They don't really have, and they have a Dawnbreaker, I guess.
No, it doesn't really matter. It's more for like your own region and your own
Long I no
sustainability,
see
which
it,
is
long I no
usually
see,
something that,
bro.
like, Slark struggles with. But you can see here that he's already putting up a lot of pressure. And not just that, like also Leash is incredibly good against Ember.
True.
And we also heard them talk about it, as of course they are the studio experts. You have Slark and Coddle together, lowering the cooldown. You can pounce them multiple times. Very hard to play against.
We'll see.
ရမ်းမချကြပဲထိုင်ဖန်နေမယ်လို့ထင်တယ်ဖြစ်တော့ဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်
If I'm being honest.
အသိမလားဂိုင်းကိုနောက်ဆုံးတစ်ပိုင်းနေပါရင်လည်းအကုန်လုံးပြစ်တယ်လို့ဒါဒီဘက်ကလည်းလုံးသူ
Waiting to see.
အပြာချောင်းနဲ့အဲ့လိုပတ်ပြီး red နေတယ်လို့အဲ့ကွက်တွေမြင်ရမယ်တဲ့
Because it is XM. First, this guy, he played in the last TI finals.
Okay,
he
and,
got kicked. What the?
ဟုတ်ပါဘူးနော်
Why did you do that?
Hey,
This
G.
guy is so good. Same with
What am I
Shinji,
telling
right?
you?
They're not showing why they're here. So when it comes
What am I telling
to
you?
weird mid
Why
heroes
they
to
play
play
like
like
this,
this, I trust XM. If this was a different player, there's only Thompson and XM
Hey,
that
man,
I would
select
have
that,
some
no?
or any faith in that they could win this game.
Okay, fair enough. That's high praise. It's high praise. We'll see how it goes.
Look at the board. Look at the Bimbo here.
Yep, that's right. Some nice micro coming out from Mr. Faith Beyond. We'll be
ဒီ
able to
ပွဲ
get
ဖဲကွန်
denied
ကြေး
a
ခွန်
lot of
ထည့်ရ
room,
မယ်
but,
ထင်တယ်
Malrine will still grab
အဲ့
the
တော့
other.
ဂိုင်းက divine hero ကွာသိလား
Let's get back to this lone druid.
နောက်ဆုံး
We can talk
ဒီကောင်
about
နေ
it for about 30 seconds,
ရေးရဲ့
and
အကြောင်း
then
ရ
we'll mention
ဖြစ်
him
လာ
in
တဲ့
the
အချိန်
game.
မှာ
Okay,
ဂိုင်းကြီးက divine ထည့်ပြီးအကုန်လုံး
doing anything.
ခွာပြစ်လိုက်ရင်က
Why has this
အကုန်ရှောကုန်
been
မှာ
so
အဲ့လိုမျိုးအခြေအနေဟိုကရောက်ဖို့များတယ်
coming in? It's like, oh, this is our first pick, first ban. Blah, 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 blah.
One of the
Feels like
biggest.
it's been horrendous.
Yeah, one of the biggest reasons to me is that the hero was just first picked a lot of the times, and then he ended up playing, especially into like Underlord or heroes that just really catch you out on the map all the time, or Slardars, where the game is just very difficult for you to play. But overall, I think Vici created a good draft with Lone Druid. Like the hero eventually, he doesn't really want to team fight. He wants an annoying map state where this wave is pushed in, that wave is pushed in, you can roar someone, get a kill. And Slark as well. Slark definitely abuses a good map state, especially in nighttime. You're gonna have like way better vision around the map. The only thing I'm looking for is that I think Falcon's skirmish is way better. Dawnbreaker Gyro in early mid game, like if fights break out, and also Dawn is incredibly good against Beastmaster when he overplays in an area. So it's more of like the smaller finesse type of things that Vici need to do when it comes to map play.
Okay. They do have a good response for Roar, which is the box
Yeah.
out of Snake King. So one save for Falcons, but you're right, it's more skirmishy. You don't really have this insane burst damage coming from Falcons. It's more sustained.
Yeah, and they have a very good top lane, right? Against the Beast Coddle. Both of these are counter picks. Ringmaster very good against Beast.
တူးစီလောက်လား
That you
တူး
mentioned.
စီ
We
က
also have the daggers
ဖြစ်
against
တော့
the
ဖြစ်
board.
နိုင်တယ်
Gyro goes without
Yeah.
saying, one of the best counters against the Beastmaster.
ဒီပွဲကအချိန်တန်
Just
ဖဲကွန်
stand
နိုင်မယ်ပဲ
around,
ထ
you
င်
can kill his boars. He always has
ကောင်နေအားလေး
high
အဲ့လို
movement
ထိုး
speed
တက်တာ
with
ပါ
grenades.
ညာတော့ရလိမ့်မယ်ကွာဖလက်အလဲမှာဖိထားတာ
Also,
နဲ့
the
သိရ
other
မလား
side, Solar Guardian against
လို
the Beast Roar
Beast
also
Master
quite
အား
good
နဲ့
as a
လုံး
pseudo
လူကြီးနဲ့
counter.
ဝူဝါဝုံတိုင်းနေထိုးတက်တာမျိုးဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်နောက် keeper healing တစ်ပေါက်ရှိသေးတယ်အဲ့ဒါတွေကအားလေးအရန်ထိုးတက်လို့ကောင်း
I mean, from Vici's side, their
အဲ့
support
ထိုးတက်တဲ့ဟာကို
with
ဖဲကွန်
Coddle,
ခံလိုက်နိုင်ရ
you're gonna get in the lane with the axes, with
မကတလန်းလောက်
Slug,
ပေး
to
တာ
some
ပဲ
degree
ဖြစ်
the
ဖြစ်ကွာ
bear,
အဲ့လောက်
I
အနေ
guess.
ထားလောက်ကနေခံပတ်နိုင်
It's almost like a meta
Pick up.
emphasis type of
သဘိုင်းဟီရို
basically
ဖြစ်နေ
his main spell.
Yeah,
getting lower cooldown.
And I think also like when I look at Vici's draft overall, like there's a lot of cool things about the
Divine
Slug,
hero,
but
divine
it
hero.
also has, it is a volatile hero. It has to be said. And they don't have the highest damage, right? When we talk about how their three cores play together, they don't really play together. They abuse each other's map state of like the Beast, the Lone, and the Slark. And Coddle and Tree, they're like enabling heroes. They amplify if you are strong, but they don't give you all the damage. So if XM doesn't have an explosive early game and like entry into the mid game, I really think they could struggle.
I'm gonna give you a little trivia question.
Okay.
It's not objective though; it's subjective. I'm not gonna pretend that it is objective.
Let's keep that up. That's
What's
good,
the
Gav.
worst ultimate in the game? In Dota.
The worst old. Okay, hold that.
Think about that. The knife is gonna stab Bach in the back.
အိုးစနီးကင်းက web
Apply
ပြစ်
some
လို့
more
ရှောတော့မယ်
pressure with that rocket barrage, and that thing is crazy good
That's
early on.
black.
Skeeter gets first blood on
စကီတာ
the
စကီတာ
Champions
စကီတာ
Cup.
လုံးနေပြီ
That is a pretty good one, and especially like we said, you know, Falcons want to play from ahead. They have good skirmish. They have very good collapsing ability early on, so it's a good move from Crit. They talk a lot about the 5-minute move where you can potentially go to the safe lane, then link up with your support. It also means that Amar is getting a little bit of solo XP. And to answer your question of what's the worst ult, I actually don't know.
I'm going to give you to the 10-minute mark. You have some time.
Well, you were going to say it's Ringmaster Wheel of Wonder. That's what you said the other day.
No, I'm not.
Okay, thank God.
I said it's a little
I know which one. Not for projection.
No, that's a great one.
What? No, that ult is not good.
Okay, it's not the best, but there's a worse ultimate for sure.
Okay, you please.
Just a moment.
Ah,
Snake
deny on
trying
it.
to keep that.
This is fake. Please talk about the ultimate.
It's in this game. I'll give you that clue.
There's a word. What? True form?
No. What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
Come on. You're better than this.
There are no bad ults in this game.
You're better than this. I was having a conversation with Lacoste, and he definitely agreed with me. So I have another analyst on my side.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are smoking or talking about.
I'll let you think on that a little bit. I'm gonna tease this up until the end game, of course.
Okay, we've got to pause. What is wrong with you?
There's some lag apparently.
Okay, can you tell me about the worst ult?
It's Gyrocopter.
Excuse me?
It's terrible.
Okay.
It's truly bad.
All right, we're going to have this game unpaused. Skeeter, in the first 15 minutes, is going to use 3 cooldowns that will kill multiple heroes.
Oh, please.
And you're going to eat your stupid words.
First of all, Flat Cannon is really ultimate. Let's be true.
No.
What do you...
God.
How are you an analyst? That doesn't make any sense.
Flat Cannon is a good spell, but it's not his ult. He's not... If it was his ult, he would max it. No? Yeah, checkmate. Checkmate.
There's no checkmate here. You're going for the Rocket Barrage early.
Yes, because it's good.
Yeah, of course, Rocket Barrage is insanely good. Black Cannon is what carries you into the game.
Oh, man.
If he didn't have his ult, you would still pick Gyro occasionally. Zamar.
ပြန်လှည့်ပြီးရုပ်လောက်တာဟာအေးခတ်မိသွားပြီအဲ့ချုပ်တာနော်လေးခေါက်မိရင်ဗာလေးချက်ပြီးရင်တစ်ခေါက်ချုပ်တာနော်အဲ့လိုဖြစ်နေပို့ပြီးတော့မိုက်သွား
So a nice turnaround coming out from Falcons. Looked like it might have been a beautiful kill for Shiro.
No, that's very big. Especially this early on. Like, Lone Druid he always wins his lane. Like, nearly always. And killing him before level 6 is kind of what you want to end up doing.
လာရှုပ်ပြီ
Puts his body here into the
လာရှုပ်ပြီစတက်အုပ်တွေအများကြီးပဲ
This is the other great thing about Gyro and him having call down. You win your lane against Beast.
ဒီကလာရှုပ်တယ်ဆိုတာ9မိနစ်အတွက်လာတာပါအေးမှာစကီတာ
And you can easily contest that.
Now Ring getting pressured a bit, but
JK.
will remnant away as he shows up in the mid lane with XM, who has the level advantage right now on the Slark mid.
Yeah.
He did make sure everybody's aware of this.
Once he gets Diffusal, he's incredibly strong. Even already now, he's a little bit oppressive. Of course, it's also quite difficult to ward against this guy early on. So
အမ်ဘာမွတ်တော့မွတ်တယ်နော်ဆက်လက်နဲ့ထေးတာဘန်ကြီးကင်းနဲ့ဆက်လက်နဲ့ဘဲကောင်ပိုခတ်မလဲမသိဘူးအမ်ဘာအတွက်ကနှစ်ကောင်လုံးခတ်မှာ
And now Ring will bot it in the bot side.
အဲ့ဆိုပဲကြည့်အောင်ဆောင်းနေနောက် Level 3 လေးရိုက်ပြီး
Also a bit of an underwhelming spell as well.
Homing Missile, I do agree, is not the best spell.
He has really 2 spells on him.
Okay.
They're just really strong. Malrain already using the damage rune actually.
Yeah, easy lasted.
XM. Obviously a very survivable hero in the Slark. Anytime he's in the shadows, get a ton of regen. And I mean, I know we don't see Slark mid. Do you see Slark in any position?
Very.
Like what itemization you look for?
Very rarely.
Got Diffusal first.
It's still very much the same that we used to see. It's like some Falcon Blade, Diffusal. And some people play around with some Aghanim Scepters that are like, I mean, Ags is nearly always core, but you also don't really want to build its second item. So when he played it last time a while ago, it was the Diffusal, Ags into then Skadi, but he had a way better of an early game. Because for now, like, even though you pick the Slark into the Ember, the matchup is quite, I mean, it's kind of, obviously you're winning, but Malrine is still getting everything that he wants, which is levels, time, and a little bit of net worth. Also, insanely good neutral item on the Gyro, of course, the dagger of Mr. Ristool, 25 bonus damage. You take that on Gyro, you're an incredibly low damage hero.
Even with the ultimate, incredibly low damage hero. It's crazy.
Okay.
ဂိုင်ရောက်လာပြီဂိုင်ကိုအနောက်မှာဝင်လုံးတော့မယ်အလုံးတော့စစ်ရောက်နေပြီကွာနည်းနည်းမာတော့မှာ
We talk about offlane Dawnbreaker. There's several builds.
ပေါ်မှာ keeper နဲ့ beast နဲ့စတက်တွေစားပြီးမှလာတာဆိုတော့ info ကပျောက်နေတယ်အေးမြင်သွားပြီ
From the south, they're gonna try to get another kill onto Shiro. Gets the huge amount of damage coming out from one proc of that ultimate from Gyrocopter. Might as well not be cast. 2 kills go the way of Falcon.
အခုမှတကယ်လောက်တာဖဲကောင်ကအခုမှတကယ်လောက်တာ
Greatest ultimate in Dota. Call down. Great.
The hero died. That's all that matters. It's a good spell. This guy is a hater.
Incredible.
Man, imagine being a caster and using your voice to shit talk a good spell.
And he's
Keep up
back
that
in
energy
lane
though. I like
already.
that energy. That's the
Thank
most
you.
energetic you've been.
Look
Let's
at that.
rewatch the damage.
Let's look at this, and
Yeah. See,
one of them hits him. Incredible.
That's living armor.
I
Living
think
armor.
he went down about 50 HP there, as we're going to see some more action this time onto Bach.
Oh.
The full Starbreaker from Amar.
Ah, what about?
About his Bach gets to
Ah,
go
what
down
about?
first,
What?
So looking really bad for Vici at the beginning of that. They'll very least get a kill. And Skeeter on the bot side kills off Shiro.
Shiro shortသွားပါပြီဗျာ
This is
ထပ်
3
ပြီးတော့
deaths for the lone druid already. It's feeling like every
Lone
other
Druidပုတ်
lone
သွား
druid
ပြီ
game we've seen this tournament.
Game 3 Game 3
They're falling flat. And it all started with the call down rotation, of course, from Skeeter. That
Almost
starts
made me
the
spit up my drink there.
Well,
Go ahead. Sorry.
ခီတာဆောင်းရမ်းဖတ်နေတာ
5 seconds,
ကြီး
of course. Biggest timing of gyro coming.
ပြာရောင်းရဖို့
Will be
နည်းနည်းပဲ
unlocked
လို့
again
တော့
as the call down will be back up.
2200
It's a good spell. You're just a hater. They buffed it. Missile slow from 50 to 60%.
They could make it global. That would make a better ultimate. I'd be okay with
Shout
that.
out to Bombardier from Heroes of Newer.
That's right.
Nearly had the same spell
Great spell.
without the slow.
Except it's even slower in projectile. See a little bit of group up here on the top side.
They did get a good counterplay up earlier, right? When Jinkyu and Bach were fighting there, because you have the early heals from Jinkyu and also the Ash Legion shield, which allowed Bach to stand his ground, counterplay it, and they're soon unlocking the overgrowth on Y, who's one of the best treants. Like, first of all, I think it's not that easy
One
to
of the
see when
best
people
treant.
pop off on Treant Protector, but when I think of Treant Protector, I think of Y and Mipochka. Like, these guys are and were so good at the overall positioning, knowing where you need to be and counterplaying the right place, right time. We should soon see XM start to be aggressive. Your first timing is usually the defusal.
That first overgrowth of the game from
အောင်လဲအောင်လဲမရဘူးဒီကောင်လေးကားလေးသေးလေးပဲဖြစ်မှာပဲဒါက fighting carry ဖြစ်နေတော့အသေးလိုက်ချနေလုံးစုကြတော့လိမ့်မှလည်းအရင်မအုံထားတော့
will go the way of Falcons.
ကားလို့မရဘူးလုံးစု hero pick ကအဲ့လိုလုံးလို့မရလိမ့်တာပြီးဆော့မှရမှာဒီကောင်လေးဆက်လက်နဲ့ပြန်ချမှရမှာ
But yeah, this is the first timing you get defusal.
လက်တော့ရောက်လာတယ်
Second
defuse
timing is
နဲ့
the
ကွာ
night time with the defusal blade, so that will be at the 15-minute mark.
Let's see if they end up using this successfully.
Eh?
Skeeter gets initially gone on as the homing missile will find its mark in XM eventually. See if he just dark packs it off or not.
Scared of the call down, can't really commit on him, of
Yeah,
course.
really tough
Wait,
to play
what?
around that really slow
အ
ultimate.
ပေါ်မှာဘယ်လိုကြီး
He
တော့
just
ကွာ
2v1 them.
Yeah, he just killed Snake
Okay.
King. Now we have the Solar Guardian, so they will get the trade. Bach
Here comes
That was a 1
XM.
versus 3 essentially as XM comes in with the pounce. No more mana for Amar, but he is pretty quick. Dark Pack gets him out of the searing chains, but not
1-1
fast
trade.
enough.
Okay, still hasn't been able to
တလဲတူလား
much
ငါ
yet.
ပေါ်
Of course,
ပြီးတော့
some
ဘာမှလုပ်
pressure
လို့မရဘူး
forcing
မင်းမှာတော့
Amar
အမ်ဘာ
out,
ကို
but he
နှိမ့်
doesn't
အောင်
have
တော့
the
လုပ်
ult
လို့
yet.
ရတယ်ပြီးရင်ကြည့်အောင်
Need to see when the 15
သူ့မှာဘယ်သူမှတတ်လို့မရဘူးဖြစ်နေ0-0-0
I
တဲ့
don't mind if he does end up going for the shot.
Ngamo
I think
yi.
sometimes, you know, going this early ags, it's still
ပြီးရင်တ
not
ကယ်
easy
ဘတ်တယ်
to
ဖြစ်လို့
catch
ရှိရင်
people.
အမှ
You know, it's
ဂိုင်း
not
ကို
the same it used
ပြ
to
စ်
be
တာ
like
တွေ
the
ကို
Shadow
ဖွာ
Ripple.
ဖွာမိတာနဲ့
You'll
သိ
find
မှာ
a
ဒီ
little
ကောင်
bit
level
more
စစ်တော့ပြောင်းလို့ရတယ်
pressure,
ပြီးရင်
and
သိ
also allow
ဘာ
you to
လို့မရ
have a bit more attack speed.
အရင်တည်းကအဲ့ဆက်လက်ဆိုတဲ့ hero ကအဲ့တိုင်းပဲ
A good start.
အဲ့တော့
Has yet to be seen.
စိတ်ညောင်းနေအမ်ဘာ
0-0 on XM.
He has a
right now.
Ghost Scepter first
What
item.
the
Alright,
fuck?
This is the anti-Slark item.
He's really respecting
Yeah.
that mid slug.
ဟုတ်တော့ဟုတ်တယ်ကွာဒီဘက်ကလုံးစုရောဆက်လက်ကောကွာစိတ်ညောင်း online ဘာမှလုပ်လို့ရအောင်မဟုတ်ဘူးတလား
Upgrade to disperse.
ညံကောင်းနေ
just to completely nullify that.
You
ထောင်
can
900
have
ဘူး
it
ထောင် 900
with
ဘူး
the
ရင်းလိုက်
Slark,
ပြီ
but at the same time it is quite good against the other two cores, and it will allow Malrine to play quite aggressive. And I think for their draft, it's actually very important. When you're Dawnbreaker, you're not looking to like make moves first. You rely on your team to go in, be aggressive. And if this is what allows Malrine to kind of play...
Against
over
the
this
guy
matchup
who
and
nine
be
lah,
aggressive,
man,
I love
nine.
it. It also gives you some stats, which is nice.
ဒီ game ဆက်လက်ကဘယ်သူမှမနိုင်
Shrines being taken now. Only from Jinkyu so far, as we have a smoke from Falcons. Obviously would love to kill XM in that mid lane.
ဘာလို့တကယ်ဘတ်တယ်ဖြစ်ပြီးဟေ့ဆိုရင်ဆက်လက်က
He's ultra difficult.
သူ့ level 3 stack တွေများအောင်လို့ခုတ်နေရတယ်ကွာအဲ့လိုအနည်းဆုံးအဲ့လို15ချက်လောက်15ချက်မဟုတ်10ချက်ပေါ့နော်10ချက်လောက်တော့ခုတ်မှသူ့ကောင်ဆွမ်းတာအဲ့တော့အဲ့10ချက်ခုတ်
For Amar.
နေတဲ့အချိန်မှာဗတ်တယ်ကပြီးသွားပြီ
This tier 1 mid. Now Rain. Use the searing chains.
ဆက်လက်ကျန်တဲ့ condition ကအဲ့လို
Falcons on the way.
ပွဲကိုအရန်နေနှောက်ပြီးတော့ကွာ
taking a ton of damage. The whip's going to keep
သူ့မှာ stack တွေများ stack တွေများပြီးတော့ချတဲ့ဗတ်တယ်တွေပဲရတကယ်ဟို stack 0ကစတယ်ဆိုတဲ့ဗတ်တယ်မှာဘာမှလုပ်လို့မရဘူး
Bach's been having very good games.
dash route ရှိမယ်သူ့ level 6ရှိမယ်ပျောက်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့အဲ့လောက်ပဲ
What's up against a hard lane?
ဘာ
He's
လို့က
top
ပြန်
backer
ပြန်
on
ပြန်
the
ပြစ်
beast.
ချလိုက်ရင်
Getting some solo
Where
kills.
Beanie?
Top
Channel
tier one
on the
taken,
amount,
mid tier
I
one
think.
taken. Very good timing on the Overlord. Of course, a lot of this is because of Gen-Q with the Coddle.
အဲ့ဒါကြောင့်ပဲ select carry တွေဆိုတာပျောက်သွားတာလေကဲမလားဟို hurricane ပိုက်လေးနဲ့ထွက်ပြေးသွားလိုက်အစိမ်းချောင်းလေးနှိမ့်လိုက်နေ select ကအဲ့လိုနောက်ပိုင်းဘက်တွေမှာပုတ်
Is that good news for Vici?
I would say that they are pretty happy with what's going on, right? Especially
now
this is
under
one of the
1.5.
stronger timings
Ah,
for
my
XM.
life.
Nighttime plus the diffusal for you, and Jiro's been having a very
Online
quiet
see
early,
the
probably
Mingla,
too
bro.
quiet, at least when we look at his net worth, 5.8k.
Oh, why?
ပြေးသွားပြီ
Go for a massive overgrowth here if he had some vision. This Falcons gonna group up maybe for this tier 1. Y gets hit by a knife or two. Snake King spots him with the sentry, but now outside of it.
His middle tower is under attack.
Trant always such an annoying hero to play against. Now
စိမ်းချောင်းကြီးနှိမ့်တာဟဲ့ဟေးအေးစေးပဲ
hit on by crit, but the Dark Pack keeps him safe. Meanwhile, the Trant does get off the overgrowth, trying to walk away. Is he actually going to find the distance? Hammer does it, and that'll be the end of the tree for now.
And this is what I mean with Y. Like, we watched him walk around for like 50 seconds where he's giving full vision defending his tower. Pounce onto Malrine.
XM taking the brunt of the damage.
Ah, roll it. That was safe,
Counter.
got it.
We talked about that pre-game. As XM's ult keeps him safe for the time being. And Skeeter going to try for a little bit of turnaround here, especially with that Solar Guardian and the Wheel of Wonder to top it. His block gets up.
No, my watch show
Chain's not going to hit. Illuminate though. That is the death
Oh,
of Amar. Big kill from
keep out
Vici.
of the line ဒီကောင်တွေသတိမထားမိလိုက်တာ keep out of the line healing နေအမအိုးထက်ရှော့သွားဟေးရောင်ရေဒီဘွဲတစ်ပိုင်းထဲမထဲဖတ်လို့ရသေးရင်တော့ဒီဘွဲထဲရုံပဲတဲ့လား
Falcons, you TP in, you get off a good roar.
ဖတ်လို့မရတော့တော့
They're just constantly playing with
တစ်ပိုင်းထဲမထဲဒီဘွဲဒီကောင်တွေတစ်ပိုင်းထဲကိုထဲရမှာဒီဘွဲအခြေအနေက ဒီတိုင်းဆိုရင်မနိုင်တော့ဟိုဘက်9ယောက်စုလိုက်
And they do need to play fights like that. You need them to be semi-drawn out because they don't have the
ဘင်း
craziest
သွားမဲ့ level ရောက်ကိုရောက်တော့တယ်
Sorry,
ကွာ
but look, like just a full heal onto XM from Jin-Q there.
Yeah, felt like a lot connected there for Falcons.
ဟုတ်တယ်နော် keep out of the line healing holy locket နဲ့ဆိုရင်တော့ပြီးပြီပဲအဲ့ဒါ
Nice read there from Faith Beyond.
Yeah, this is big because remember that all of these fights, like Jiro, he doesn't really have to do anything. He's just playing his little lone druid mini game. Get your items, get your Aghanim Scepter, keep helping your team with how the map is played overall.
And the fact that they can potentially get Roche without the lone druid involved at all.
Can they really?
Huge.
Okay,
Yeah,
so here's the
Rocket
early
Flare.
rocket. Blink Rush also from Crit already has it.
Are they actually going to commit for this? Y in the area, ready
Crazy
to block
good
this
positioning.
smoke. Snaking and Crit trying to contest. Snaking already popped.
Hey.
He gets in again with the hook shot, but not able to steal it this time around. Good
Win
attempt by
data,
Crit, but
win
it's gonna
data.
cost him his life. And now
Yo,
Snaking
mate, gone time you are.
overgrowth. Will box himself, but that provides a little bit of extra time for Snake King to get chased down by the likes of the Slark. Double kill for XM. Weird ass pick, but it's working out so
He's
far.
cooking. Seems like that was a skill issue many years ago in DC.
He is
Sorry,
cooking.
Slark.
he is cooking
No, they are owning. Defiant Shell as well. Very good on Slark, of course. You get some return hits. Get another Essence Shift stack yourself. Now he's got Shadow Blade with the nighttime still a little bit available. And Aegis is, yeah, on your hands. You're 4k gold up without having needed your carry at all.
BKB တစ်ပိုင်းသာထည့်ချလိုက်တော့ပြီးပြီပွဲအ BKB တစ်ပိုင်းဆိုတော့ attack
Much
speed က
damage
လို
gonna
သေးတယ်
get
အန်တာစတိုင်းလောက်ထ
done
ပ်ထည့်
with this Aegis. Keep in mind,
I'm
this
out.
is not the carry. The lone druid
BKB
is supposed to be the
BKB
carry. Now
flying,
all the space
divine.
created, even just obtaining the Aegis in general, just buys extra time for lone druid to farm. And he is 300. Okay, never mind. That's bad math. 1,300, 1,500 away
Okay.
from the X.
Let's keep mentioning numbers. Very good. NA math.
Well, it's weird that the point booster is in this position. Usually it's first out of the Ags coming out.
Well, he's just bought the other two parts already. He's going for a bit of a
Right,
different build.
solo
Not going
tiro,
for a
man.
Solo play.
A Solar Guardian
Hey.
onto the
Oh,
Black
but they wa-
Dragon. Amar is going to live. Buck actually, if he had the vision we had, he would have just stuck around and killed him. XM. Malrine and company knowing that he has his Aegis, of course. XM just going to get healed up. Have to be wary of this call down. Very powerful ultimate, according to one of the best analysts in Dota, quote unquote.
Yeah, one of the worst ultimates according to one of the best casters, quote unquote.
That's right. Crit gets the hook
That-
shot off, but the Dark Pact is always there for XM, and he is looking really good.
Okay, this mid Slark being buffed up.
You know
by
that boss
Jinku's
on my
Gobble with the Holy Lotus and
profile.
the max living armor is he's a big
က
problem.
န့်ကြီးမလား
And this is without again.
Ah, you
Overlord
only-
hasn't been in the game yet. Bach is having an exceptional game on the beast. Like usually Dawn is a counter to Beast. When you meet up 1v1,
Now
you
fight
kind of
on
stand
that.
your ground. If Beast goes for any plays, you counter.
လို့ဖြစ်
play,
သွား
but
တောင်းမန်တာတော့
he's
မ
the
ယူရ
one
သေး
that's
ဘူး
taking
နော်
over
fight က
areas.
ရိုရှန်
Like the way the Falcons
နဲ့
are playing, Gyro's farming
ပြီးတော့
very defensively up top. Dawn is farming
ဆိုလိုကီးလေး
super
နည်းနည်း
defensively
ပဲ
down
နော်
bottom.
အဲ့ဒါကို fight
And
ကြည့်
they're
တာဟို
taking back barely any space in their own jungle.
တောင်းမန်တာမှာပါပြီ 7k ပဲနော်
Vici going to take this extra space to take out the first tormentor of the game.
They'll get themselves quite a good gold lead. And these are some good shards. You get either the 3 and 1 for a bit more map play, rockets.
Oh, not quite in time. Jinkyu will get the double solar bind
And even,
it's called.
yeah, and even more heal from the Illuminate, so this matters quite a lot. It was already difficult to kill these Radiant heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about, usually we don't see the Maelstrom into Aghanims. It's always like a Mjolnir that goes into it, so a little bit different for Shiro here.
ပဲကုန်ပါလေဖြစ်ကုန်တာလေဟုတ်ပါ
Oh, crit spotted, but blinks
Ay,
out.
ဖြစ်ကုန်မှန်းကို
showing
မ
off
သိတာ
that blink dagger, Snake King. Gonna be able to steal.
ဒီကောင်လေးစောင့်တဲ့ဆက်ကိုနည်းနည်းဒီလေးပါအောင်လှုပ်ထားတာမသိ
The same.
Follow suit on the other
ဘူးပင်တက်
side.
နေရလို့ပါ
Is under attack.
ဟုတ်ဖဲကွန်ဘာတွေဖြစ်ကုန်တာလဲလို့မေးရမှာမဟုတ်ဘူးတကယ်က VG ဘာဖြစ်သွားတာလဲမေးရ
Either fight back
ဟို
or
VG ကိုကြည့်ဘူးလေဒီလက်မဟုတ်ဘူး
here.
နော်တကယ်ဘာတွေလုံးနေမှမသိတာအဲ့ကောင်
But
လေး
VG, they've been very
ဒါမှမဟုတ်ကိုကြည့်ဘူးလိုက်တဲ့ပွဲကဒီကောင်လေး3-2-2ပြီးတော့ဟိုတရုတ်မာဖီးယားရဲ့စီမှာဘတ်တင်တွေလှုပ်ပြီးတော့များသရိုးထားလာမသိဘူးဒါမှဒီကောင်လေးတကယ်လက်အမှန်ဘလို့လဲနားမလဲတော့အေး
Hook shot to come in and try to save.
Baby,
it. Snake
quit
King's
that baby
already
ball.
dead. They're gonna get the clockwork as well, so double kill for Faith Beyond. He is owning.
အမှန်လည်းဘာမှလုံးမရဘူး
And remember, this is with Lone Druid not existing currently, and he eventually will. If
လုံး
given
လူကအ
enough
ပေါ်
time.
မှာ
8K
ဝတ်
lead
တဲ့
for
fan
VG.
လုံးလူအပြောင်းရနေ
Pretty
ပြီ
much 4 reviving, and I think Marine's build, he's had a vessel for a while. I don't know if he's had a single charge on it this entire game. They're not really just not finding any moves. Amar with an early
ကြောင်
Shiva
ဒီ
start.
ပါလည်းဖတ်တယ်
Not
ပေါ်လီ
an
လော
item
က
you
4
ever
step
see second.
တရားကြောင်းသွားနေတယ်
On Dawn.
အဲ့ healing
Sure,
တစ်ပေါင်း
it
နဲ့
gives you a bit of AoE effect. You get a lot of
ဒေါင်းတွေကရှိပါခဲ့တယ်
Support
โอ้
the crafty attack speed.
okay အဲ့အိုက်တန်ကတော့မဆိုးဘူး
And the AoE damage plus
ဒီဘက်ကအဲ့လို healing တွေပါတဲ့အတွက်
Something looks
ပေါင်
wrong.
တာတော့ဖြစ်တော့ဖြစ်
because
တယ်
this
ပေါ့
has
ဆို
never been done before.
ဟို idea
In the
ဒါ
history
ပေမဲ့
of
အဲ့လို
Dota,
ထည့်လိုက်တော့ဒီကောင်စီကထွက်လာမဲ့ breast damage ကတော့မရှိတော့ဘူးဒီကောင်လေးအားလုံးက Gaio ရဲ့ damage ကိုပဲအားကိုးပြီးဆော့ရပြီဒီပွဲ
Potentially it is a build and it just speaks for
Gaio
this
damage
type of
ထွက်ရင်
game
ထွက်မထွက်
where
ရင်ရှုံးပြီပဲ
you're cornered.
တော့တဲ့နောက် 9k ဒီကောင်လေးဘယ်သူ့ကိုသွားတက်လို့တက်မှမသိဘူးတစ်တစ်လဲနေ
I'm
ပြီ
sure a Herald has done it.
စမုတ်လို့ရှိရင်လည်း tree ရလိုက်ပြီးတော့စမုတ်တွေပေါ်နေတယ်တင်မှာဆလက်ကလည်းတက်အရင်ခတ်တဲ့ကောင်
That is a lot of people, but
လုံး
generally
လူကလည်းအပြာကြောင်းနဲ့ဆိုတော့
1%, huh? What's wrong with
ဘက်
you?
ကိုပဲမြင်ရတယ်လူကိုမမြင်ရဘူးကွာအဲ့လိုဖြစ်
I'm not casting a Herald game.
What about the
တစ်တစ်
rest
လဲ
of
နေ
us?
ပြီ
Get
တစ်တစ်လဲ
I'll
နေ
tell
ပြီ
you about the Herald.
BKB now up for XM as his game continues to progress pretty damn nicely. And of course, this is a hero that scales crazy in the late game.
Oh yeah. They've got a pretty good ward in the triangle, so they know
ပွဲဆော့တာအများကြီးဆော့ရတာ
how
ပူ
far
သားကြ
walk
တော့
over
ဖြ
to
စ်
the
မယ်
mid lane.
Yeah, Drums of Slum online as well.
Oh,
This is
no?
a big power spike for Vici. They've already
တန်ပိုတန်ပိုမိပါ
Oh, hello.
are spotted.
Baby.
Tries to get off the hammer, but the roar finds him, and that's going to be another death for Amar. Malrain has to try to remnant away. Put in a bit of a weird spot here.
Yeah, why you don't-
Going to get feared up. Do they have
I don't know
actually
that.
a connection?
That's
Do
not
they have
good.
the damage is going to be close. Yes.
ဟမ်
Wrong place again for Malrain, and off the back of it, Vici get a tier 2 tower, and why not keep pushing?
Yo,
Would
these
that
guys
be?
are good. They're just going straight for the high ground, minute 23. This is the
Purification popped.
This is one of the best plays I've seen from a Chinese team since maybe last TI of Extreme Gaming. They are very convincing here in this entire series.
Not going to force the issue. Not going to get too greedy. Playing discipline here. They forced out the fortification. 11k lead for Vici.
ဖလက်က BKB တော့ရနေပြီအောင်အေးဖက်လိုက်တာပြီးရင်တထူးစေအကြီးနဲ့ဆိုရင်အဲ့ကောင်တက်လုံးဝ
Ghost Step is not going to do shit.
မဖြစ်နိုင်တော့ဘူးအားကြောင့်ဂျာရီကစိတ်ဓာတ်နဲ့သွားဖို့လုပ်နေတယ်အဲ့တော့ damage ထဲတော့ဟိုကောင်
Okay, let's look at
ပလိုင်းဖြစ်ပါဖြစ်ဖြစ်သွားတော့လေ
Yeah, it helps you stay alive, but
Yo,
he's got damage.
ဒီပွဲက
problems.
sustain လုပ်ရင်မနိုင်တော့ဘူး
Like
နော်
dual support.
ဖလက်က
combo,
clean
and
မှာ
like
ဒီကောင်
three beefy cores.
အားရွယ်လီးမှာ
It's really not that easy to like.
ဒီပွဲ sustain လုပ်လို့မရ
Big
ဘူး
power spike
ဒါ
for
ပေမဲ့
Falcons when they get
အောက်ပို့
level
ထုတ်ရ
3
မှာ
on the
ဘာတွေတော့
call down.
I knew you would say that.
idea တွေမားနေပြီနော်
There ain't no coming back from that as Malrain.
ဘယ်သူက damage ထွက်မှာတော့အန်ဘာကလည်းမွတ်နေတာကွာ
Good. They could win with that one.
ခေါင်းတွေကလည်းရှိပါကကြီး
For
နဲ့
them, it's a side gunner.
damage မထွက်ဘူး
Yeah, that's again. Side gunner slash flat cannon is the real spell for Gyro.
It's done a lot this game.
XM.
အေး
Looking for the pounce target.
Nighttime, baby.
Indeed, opens it up onto Snake King. They get the box off. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes for Nullifier at some point as well. The box is the only annoyance for Vici.
I really like, at least strategically, what Vici have created in Game 1 and Game 2. Like, Game 1, you had a lot of like this overall map play. You're kind of owning them with like Moonlight, Shadow, Spectre. I think even here, it's a bit similar, right? You have a lot of summons, Ghost Push, but also this one
Baby,
guy.
Again, might get caught out. Another roar to his name. Do they have the box nearby? Snake King trying for it.
Now my box
does
she.
Meanwhile, on the other side, why taking the brunt of the damage is Shiro is actually doing a lap and a gyrocopter as Skeeter just to the bear. Eventually, Bach does fall to Malrine, so a 2 for 2 exchange to start this out, but
He's not so sure. I'm a guy with the Wabi. Guy with Tamika.
After double kill for Shiro, who has finally entered the game, and again, we talked about it all game long. They've been winning this game with 2 cores, and now the third has entered to play.
Yeah, right place, right time. Definitely needed him in this fight because Falcons had a pretty good angle to counterplay there. Crit with an incredibly quick hook. But this is a 15k lead. They're knocking on your minute 26.
Yeah, there's no fortification either. So we're gonna look at the replay.
It's just so difficult, right? It's nighttime. They see everything. There's summons around, and just great positioning and also great patience. If you look at what
shot upon my guy who be overgrow
reveal for the tree. So Bach does die, but it's at a heavy cost yet again for Falcons.
You know, I thought this series would maybe go.
Going home.
They're really putting in the work in this game.
We're the 2-0 masters.
Somehow we are.
I mean, if I was going to pick a 2-0 to start the series, it would have been Falcons, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty. I mean, at this tournament they've been good, but generally speaking, they've been quite inconsistent. But powering up at the right time of a tournament is nothing to scoff at. This is how you win.
Yeah, but this
Take
is
notes, Kazu.
Oh yeah, that's very useful for me. I'll go play again next month, of course.
And once you realize this gyro ult is garbage.
Yeah, that will be the return of my career.
That's right. So it's been holding you back this whole
I say that overgrow လို့ဖြတ်လို့ရအောင်မယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ damage မထွက်တာ
I never like that hero. He's good when you can.
Like, BKB အစား
There's a world where Falcons could have still done that. I feel
စိတ်တန်းနဲ့သွားနေတာဗောနော် overgrow ချုပ်မိသွားရင်
We only talk about
6 3လို့ရတယ်
fixing my words. You should go.
မိုက်တော့မိုက်တယ်
I don't think I'm racist enough for that. As we get into the pit for Vici Gaming.
Somehow you found a way to use that word in a cast.
Comes out. And
what got lonely,
you have to try to do something, but you can see Vici are aware of this, and they're going to wrap around instead. XM going to lead the way. Still nighttime. Spotted. Boxes himself, which means he won't have it for a potential roar onto the gyrocopter. Solar Guardian to follow the Wheel of Thunder right on top of them, though. Do they have the damage to take out Bach? It's going to be close.
Now got Kiba healing, Mateo. Where be Wabi? Kiba healing at Pizza so he like that.
Ember Spirit, Malrine trying to take out Jin Q, but it's just the support at the end of the day. The Urn Charge, the living armor, the blinding light as well as Malrine slow to a crawl now.
Hey, I'm healing in it. Upon my what woman I will be Wabi. Do the hill
on the other side.
Yeah, and they're losing lives at the same time.
Fiji အဲ့လောက်တော့ဘလူးကြီးကောင်းသွားလေ
Falcons, this is
9စားနော်2သီးဆိုရင်8စား9စားလောက်ရမယ်ထင်တယ်ဘယ်ကောင်းကို10စားလောက်ရမလားမသိဘူး2သီးဆို
wasn't even that bad for them to begin with. Vici went crazy, but you can just see all the
damage
that they have.
What is happening?
2 sets minimum.
I think XM is also getting the shard on Slark. Like, he already has the Aghanim for the double pound. So shard is coming, which is another added save.
Okay, minimum 1 set of racks is what I said, of course.
Yeah.
I like this play, though. Vici playing it very safe. We've seen so many times before, especially, honestly, Chinese teams are very notorious for this in the last couple of years, where they'll stick around a little bit too long and get punished extremely hard, especially when an objective like Roche is available. They'll get this for free. It makes closing the game out that much easier.
And even Amar, like, if you look at some of their, like, the item builds, they're really cornered. Trying to look for crit, of course, to not give him an opportunity to steal the Aegis.
Yep, XM's going to show up, and that's when the damage arrives. He's going to be dead right outside his own cogs. Oh, a good attempt.
Yeah.
Did he take anything, Malrine?
Was close. Went
he had an open slot. That would have been sick, but Bach gets the Aegis instead.
The only comeback I see for Falcons is a completed dataless on Skeeter, and maybe
complete dataless. Oh, dataless. Oh, yeah.
I
Damn.
think you have to play for an all-in play at this point. You're down a lane of racks. You're playing against Lone Druid Aghanims and 3 top network hordes. It's the only
Wine
play I see
Taro,
for them back
ma.
in this game.
Dataless though. 10 minutes to wine Taro.
And even then,
What's that? Malau
I don't think that's going to be enough.
Well, if that isn't enough, then I've got bad news for
Maybe
them.
double
You
the
get in at the wine.
And let's see if they can make any type of space.
Farm that up. So Aegis, we'll see if Vici are waiting for any items coming out that would make a difference here. Disperser is still a ways away. I'm not sure if they want to wait that long. AC also a bit of a wait.
Yeah, I don't think they have to really wait for anything. They could just continue to play on the map is pushed in, we find a pickoff, we find a poke. They also have a potential to place a banner on, you know, one of the waves with the double siege waves if they want to. Because you do have Aegis. I think you're very far ahead. If you want to play super safe, you could wait for nighttime. I don't really see why you would have to do that. Because even in daytime, you're incredibly strong.
Keep out to win that night, Maya. I'm only but Charlo
Skitter away.
Very good.
the near I'm a charm even, and she do not only charmed.
Maybe
Keep
they are
out,
waiting
shall
for
he
this
in it?
next item round. I mean,
Who the dash crowd
this
about
long,
Parabi?
Bach is 500
You're
away
going
from AC.
to aim it, target, beast my saddle barrow, you're going to aim now. I aim the target, dash crowd over line at PY.
Why?
I tell you.
Scouting out Melreen
Maybe.
here.
Oh.
Do we have anything? Oh,
There's the
actually
bear.
right into the bear. Going to get the root off as well, but the box is there to save him. Has the remnant in addition. But he gets out into the pond, and he gets killed off. Another death from Melreen. A minute on the deck as the wheel of
Select.
Skeeter has to run away as XM is just going to focus on Amar instead with that BK.
Oh, overgrowth.
Overgrowth onto 3 heroes with the Illuminate.
Oh my God.
Right in their own base. Snake King trying to get out.
Yeah,
but
he's
it's
rolling
not
like that.
happening
Oh,
for the rest of his cores.
Piano comment there.
Amar,
Yo.
I believe this was a buyback, so now a dieback.
GG. 32 minutesပဲကြာတယ်
as they continue on to EWC.
Oh
and
my
Falcons
God.
Eliminated.
That's a
Yeah,
beyond
VG အဲ့လောက်ကောင်းလား David မရှိဘူး
beg the question. How
David
did
မရှိဘူး
ever kick out XM and Jinkyu from their roster? Like
VG ကစေးစားလိုက်တာ
in
တ
this
ခု
game,
စားလိုက်တယ်
both
ထင်တယ်
supports just taking over the entire early game. Same with Bach with an incredibly hard lane, getting solo kills here, being top on the network. And again,
Ah, mo
this
fair
is
go me
single
say
event.
some
This is
mawa.
Falcons out at EWC.
This was a sick performance. I was not a believer. I have reason to not be a believer.
True.
Many years of pain and suffering.
Personal
mid lane,
experience.
Weehaw, Slark mid, but Faith Beyond was on the other team.
What
and
the
maybe he
hell?
learned a little something from that.
အဲ့ဒါဆိုဒီနေ့နေကမနိုင်ပြီလားမသိဘူးရအောင်အောက်ကြီးအသင်းတွေနိုင်ကြီးဆိုရင်တော့ဒီနေ့နေကမနိုင်ပြီပဲ
Make it work.
Just needed the right change.
Nigga, ma, 2.8
This is a
lang,
very
dude.
memorable performance for XM.
But Boom,
This one specifically
1.4
on a Slark
အဲ့တော့
mid. I don't know
ဒီ
if
ကမာ
we've
များ
ever
နိုင်
seen
မှာ
that
မသိ
again.
ဘူး
That's
ဟေး
insane.
And this is what I love about not just the best teams, but the best players. They will find ways to make the game different. You know, you find a specific pick or a specific build.
Nigga, ma,
and
boy,
it's
ah.
just not normal to see a mid Slark. And this is what the best players do. You don't just get to play on autopilot. You're playing a different game. Suddenly you're playing XM Slarking with the Jinkyu caller backing him up. The trio
Well, I went
protector
out
as well as
tonight.
Falcons.
And remember this call down, that is something to remember as well. Just the massive damage coming out was enough to kill off Shiro.
That
Without
was a
it,
double kill.
incredible display.
Still hating. At this point, it's just, yeah, Vici. This is one of the better performances that I have seen, rightfully so. I think all of them just kind of owning.
ဒီကမာပွဲကြမှာ
from
ပြန်
start
တွေ့
to
မယ်
finish,
ဗျာ
you know, why? Superb positioning.
သူတော့ fair ကဘာဘိုင်ဖြစ်သွားပါ
Yeah,
ပြီ
this one-
เนาะ
this
EWC
one's
ကနေ
kind of sting. The Falcons had a big break. Maybe that also worked
Feel
against
ba?
them, right? With the format, not playing for what
fair ကွန်
was
ဖြ
it,
စ်နေတာ
5 days, 6 days.
fair ကွန်လည်းဖြစ်တာလည်းဆိုင်
And
အေး
form.
အဲ့ VG ရဲ့အရန်ကောင်းနေတာဘာတွေကောင်းနေမှမသိ
Elimination.
As a viewer, definitely.
It is
Good
incredible
draft
for
out
the
it, I
viewers
saw
as we're
9
seeing
here.
now why. I mean, we've had already a couple upsets the other day and another one here. I mean, in theory, an upset. Falcons, a very storied franchise in their brief history. This team has been around. Just the players
Oh,
alone.
my
have been
healing,
around
healing,
for a
don't
very
shout,
long
keep
time
out, time
together, more
healing.
so than any team in recent history. But Vici getting the better of them,
Yeah.
and it's off
No,
of,
nigga, my- what am I
off of
talking,
a
man?
Slark mid.
Bye-bye.
Just incredible. Just a ridiculous display.
But it is just like one. This is a characteristic of XM, and they're so good on Vici.
Now let's go to the interview on the main stage.
Thank you so much, everybody. You know who I had to grab, ladies and gentlemen, XA!